All right, everybody, welcome to the powwow. Today is Monday, January 20th, and away we go.
K-Pro Cow Powwow. K-Pro Cow Powwow. Wow. It's the K-Pro Cow Powwow. Wow. They want to find the treasure, they want to find it now. They are K-Pro and they are cow. They're going over it and over it and over it again. This treasure hunt created by Forrest Fenn. Sing it! K-Pro Cow Powwow. K-Pro Cow Powwow. Wow. It's the K-Pro Cow Powwow.
Okay, welcome, everybody. It is the K-Pro Cow powwow. How you doing, Christy?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Mike?
I'm good. Today was a holiday for me, MLK. I know some people have it off, some people don't. But, yeah, I had a nice 3-day weekend with the boys. They just went back to their moms. And here we are having a little searcher meetup, a little searcher discussion, a little searcher apologies. How you doing, K-Pro?
Are you going to give away everything, Michael?
Well, that's not giving away anything.
Yeah.
I will say to everybody, make sure you thumbs up the video because we go live twice a week to give a place for everybody to talk. Super Chat's on in case you guys want to say thank you for doing the videos, or in case you have a question you just absolutely have to get answered, and K-Pro will answer it. And then the other thing is, we'll have open lines later on. If you guys want to call early and just leave a voicemail, if you want a voicemail played, the number is 702-530-9260. So I thought I'd get that out there early. But later on, we'll actually take live calls.
Do we want to talk to the couple of voicemails that we've gotten from?
Yeah, if you want to talk about them.
Is?
I'm not going to play them, but yeah, if you want to talk about them, go ahead.
Yeah, so couple of things. The first thing is, if you have found the treasure and you are calling to let us know that you're a rooster and you want a long drawn out conversation about it, that's not happening. And if you're going to call and leave voicemails about other tubers and how they haven't been nice to you or what you think of them, we're not playing that either. If you believe there's a grenade in the treasure chest, you've got to produce. We're not going to spend the long drawn out time here unless you are ready. So if you are ready to discuss it for a while, this isn't the place. We're just not going to waste minutes and many, many minutes and many, many calls over many, many months. We know so many people have almost found it. I will say the other one is I did make I did call into AGK, and I will not be making any more public statements about the hunter that is in a legal situation because there is pending legal charges. So at this point, I can't say anything more. A lot of people were asking for clarity of exactly what happened. I'm not making any further comments. I think there's a story there that maybe at a different time or, timing matters. So, okay, so that's what we have. So if you leave a voicemail, we're going to try to get to them. I know Toby likes to call out. We would rather just open the phone lines and have people call in. That's Mike's preference. So if you leave a voicemail, we might not get back to it. But especially for the roosters, that's Toby's thing. Toby is a patient man. And some people said I was really short with some of the roosters, even as a moderator over there. So we will not be as kind, or just as patient. We are always kind. Okay, so anything else on that, Mike, before I move into a few things, and then we're going to talk about clips.
Yeah, we'll get to the clips, everybody. We're not showing them, just to be clear. We're not showing clips tonight. We're going to talk about the ones we have shown, just to be clear. Yeah, right?
Mike and I don't agree on that, so we're going to show clips, just we have all
right, we'll get to that. No, other than thanking everybody for joining us tonight. World Series of Fenn's coming up. We'll talk about that. Boom. Later on after we talk about the clips probably. And yeah, I think that's about it. Right?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to say we are planning right now World Series of Fenn. We're going to talk about that towards the end for those of you that are interested. We're up to about 35, 36. But somebody had a conflict today. So now, we're going to be right around 40, I think. We have about 15 coming to the escape room. So we'll talk about that later. But we are planning a marathon sometime in March. If you have feedback for me, kpro3@aol.com on the last marathon, I've gotten a bunch. We are going to try some things very different for the next marathon because 14 and a half hours just isn't enough sometimes. So I think we need to take some different philosophies of time. It's more time management and logistics.
But I will say that some people have been wondering about the weather, what the weather's going to be like for the World Series of Fenn. So I did reach out, and here's a forecast. Oh, hang on. That was not the forecast I was looking for. Hang on one second.
Pause for flurries of passion, followed by extended periods of getting it on.
It is Valentine's Day weekend, everybody. So I don't know where that came from. I don't know. It's crazy. All I can say is...
let me be clear. Mike has full rights to the soundboard, and that might need a change.
No.
Clips. Oh, you guys are going to get offended.
Let me try that again. The weather forecast for the World Series of Fenn weekend.
Forecast calls for flurries of passion, followed by extended periods of getting it on.
It is Valentine's Day weekend. All I can say is make sure you guys wash your hands before you come down for the tournament and hold all those chips. Okay, sorry. I had to get that in there in case people drop off for the World Series of Fenn.
Well, Cynthia's going to be there, so of course it's going to be crazy.
They're saying I need a timeout.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So if you have any input on the marathon, I've already gotten lots of input, and we're going to change it up. I think this is going to be the best marathon yet because it's going to be just awesome. So we already talked about the soundboard. I'm apologizing for, see, Sassy says gross. So it's not okay, Michael. You guys know I'm on your side. So I'm just saying, if I have to use your full name, my son knows
what?
That's when he's in trouble.
Well, here.
Michael, you're already at Michael. Michael, I can already tell you're going to be in trouble.
All right, I'll skip that one. Go ahead.
Okay. Davio's going to World Series of Fenn. That would be awesome.
Davio showing up? Is that what he said?
I know he was kind of up in the air. So
cool. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
It really is going to be a fun weekend, whether you're with somebody or not. Never know what might happen over that weekend. It is going to be a lot of fun. So we hope everybody can come and hang out and have fun, whether you play in the tournament or not.
Yeah, I will say about half the people have never played poker before. Some people are saying they don't want to play because they don't really know. That tournament is so wild and crazy that because people don't know the rules, so they just go in and it's called luck. So luck happens, they knock people out. Those of us that have played maybe a few times get a little frustrated because it's like that shouldn't have happened, but that's called poker. So we're going to go over that later because we do want to talk about clips is going to be our major thing tonight. But I do want to keep this very, very, very short. Those of you that have seen me in the different chats and throughout the Fenn Nation this last week know that maybe there's been a couple of incredibly bad moments that I've had. I'm going to chalk this up to everyone makes mistakes and has bad weeks. I had a bad week. I took it out on a couple of searchers in a varying ways. So I'm just going to say, Jack, my favorite lead searcher, I apologize. Holly, we've already discussed, but I apologize publicly. Davio, had a bad moment in your chat. I apologize. And then Toby came and saved the day. We talked for a little bit right when I was gearing up for another incredibly bad moment. And Mike saw an email I was getting ready to send and said, oh, no.
Yeah,
so I thank all of my search family for helping me through. I think I'm through the worst of it. And we're going to be back to happiness. There you go.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Where did that come from? I think I left the phone line open. I'm not sure what that was. Okay.
You, that's all you care about.
That's crazy. All right, go ahead. Just having some fun. Having some fun, everybody. Anybody who did talk to K-Pro over the last, you say about a week? Last couple days?
Whoa, you're angry.
Well, I think that sums it up. So she apologized, everybody. Let it go.
No more, Michael, no more. I was being sincere. I'm sorry, but yes, let's chalk it up.
Jack says accepted. K-Pro says K-Pro never apologized to Copper Dan. Are you supposed to apologize to him for some reason?
Yeah, he's like apology and send coin 3. I'm like, what did I do to you? I didn't do anything. He wants my coin 3. Okay. So anyway, that is my, I'm sorry, and I will make it all up to you with great content that's coming out. So let's transition to clips because that is where some of it, I even had a bad moment with Mike. So I went to
things
bed.
happen. That's okay.
Well, we had a little miscommunication, so let me tee up.
And as far as me, some people probably.
Jeez, I've never seen anyone so whipped so fast.
That's wrong. I don't know who sent that in, but that's not right. We're not. Yeah, okay. Keep going.
Oh, please stop. Okay. Okay, so here is what's happened with the clips. If you remember, the clips were supposed to be one a week coming out until we get to the trailers and then the full documentary. We should have between 6 to 7 clips out right now. We're on number 17. And this is one of the bad moments I had. I saw up on Facebook. Mike's like, shh, don't tell K-Pro, guys. Go watch this video quick. There's some new clips. And
I thought that was funny. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut
Mike
you off.
had not communicated with me. And this is the nice part. Mike doesn't micromanage me, and I don't micromanage Mike, meaning he didn't know if those clips were okay to use or not, because we're trying not to use the ones. There's a whole strategy, and he hasn't been in almost any of the meetings lately with Alan and everyone that of exactly which direction we're going as we refine the storyline. So I got to tell you, that's a little hot, little bit.
She thought, I don't know how you took it, but I mean, I thought obviously as a joke, like, shh, don't tell K-Pro. It's in the Facebook group. You're obviously going to see it as soon as I posted it.
I wasn't going to see it till morning, and it was already out there. So you guys know, right when that came out, I asked Mike, I think it was the next morning, delete it because but then it was already out there.
The clip. Yeah, the video that I made. The other thing is I made the clips and I added a couple things. Didn't run it by K-Pro first, so I should have done that first, right?
Yeah, so now, right when we took it down, of course, everybody's conspiracy theory, you took it down because it did have a super hint in it, or Forrest told you not to, or the treasure chest has been found, and I got all the... So every which way we went, we had issues of what we were doing.
We got a super chat from Lori. Lori also said, oh, no, that's Laura. I'm sorry. Super chat from Laura. Let's see. Let's do this one. No.
Thank you for that.
Hey, we appreciate it. Thank you, Laura. It is called being human and being a mom. I do the same thing with my students. If I have a bad moment, you're awesome. Don't worry. Just keep up the good work. Mom to mom here. Well, thank you, Laura. We appreciate that.
That was nice.
And Lori James above that says, is there any footage left for the documentary? So,
exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's
Lori
kind of the
James
point.
Is kind of making my point. So, DeBear says, Mike, you know K-Pro's the boss. Shame, shame, shame. No, Mike, you guys, he has all of you fooled. Mike is the easygoing one. But then if he wants something, it magically just happens. I said we were going to say 1 clip for the marathon. Do you guys remember when he pushed me to 2?
And then it was
3,
like 6 or something.
And then it was 6 or 7. And that's what Mike wanted. So Mike's priority, and I think it's a good one, but it's not mine, is to get as much out to the search community because he's a searcher. For me, this is a professional project, and my number 1 priority is the documentary. And so, and I just want it to be really thoughtful and well thought out and go really, really well. So those two, we call it Clash of the Titans, which I'm going to be talking about Clash of the Titans later. Now we took a stop. We took a hard stop and said, wait a minute, what are we doing? Because here's the other things that happened. There was a few people that watched this mysterious clip that went up and started quoting off of it. And then some people were like, you haven't even discussed these. So I went, wait. We need a strategy here. We had one. Mike fell off the turnip truck and he's been going this way. And not only you, I mean, it's been getting a little squirrely. Toby's had some fun with them. Everybody's had some fun with them. But here's what we're doing with the clips.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Michael.
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's what we're doing with the clips.
A lot of people are like, what clips? Here, I will show you guys where the clip is, okay? Go ahead. You talk, K-Pro, and I'll show on YouTube where it is.
Yes, so everyone needs to focus.
Sorry.
So there is a new video out. It's with all of them from the marathon, all the clips we had before that, plus some new ones that Mike just felt like throwing in without checking with anyone.
Hey, I'm Cowlazars. Sorry, it won't happen again. Sorry. All right, here. This is on you. It's on my channel. That's the other thing, is they're supposed to be on Hint of Riches, and I uploaded it on Cowlazars. So if you go to YouTube, you go to Cowlazars, either one's acceptable. Forrest Fenn Treasure, the Forrest Fenn Douglas Preston clips. These are all the clips we've released thus far, and they are in order. So that's where you can find
Are you guys serious that you can't hear me very well? They're saying my sound is low.
Okay, wait. Let me check it out. Go ahead and talk.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I can do this.
Okay.
It's going to lower. It's going to make me louder too, though. So hopefully it won't be an issue.
Yeah, and maybe I do this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so Here is what we're doing. Yes, and that's the other thing that I was extremely excited about, Tony, is yes, they all are in order, and that was just easier for Mike with editing, but there were some reasons that well, they're in order. Yes, let's just leave it that way. Okay, so now looking at all of that, here's what we need to do. There are a host of clips that are out that we have never looked at or discussed on either of our shows. We need to first discuss the ones we have out. The ones on the marathon, a lot of people were like, hey, what happened there? You guys didn't discuss them in length, which we didn't. The marathon got wild and crazy.
Oh, yeah.
We threw something out. There was 1 or 2 minutes of discussion, then we were on to the next.
That's a good point, Mark Hughes. You'd think for somebody that does YouTube videos, I might have put that link in the chat, huh? Hang on, I'll add it right now.
Well, and Sassy brings up the next point is, are we done with the interviews? We are not, and those took a back seat. I had some personal stuff pop up, and I had to cancel some of my flights to go and get the final interviews with Alan. So unfortunately, that's the problem. I need to pace these out. We need to pace the clips out to then have clip, teaser, then full trailer, then full documentary. We've put out about 300 times quicker than we should have some of the clips, and now the documentary is a little bit behind schedule, and there's going to leave a gap. And that's not what you do when you look at a systematic approach to this. So with all of that,
volume should be good now, everybody, right? They're saying Mike blew it.
So.
We all took that. Nice copper, Dan.
It's a piece of crap. It doesn't work.
That's what I used to say about the soundboard, but then I actually figured out how to use it. So I think we're good now. I think people are saying it's good. So. Okay.
I'm excited about the soundboard. I can't tell you how excited.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Don't say that, everybody. I don't know who sent that in, but I got to go through these before I actually play them, I guess. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We have the video, and we're going to take it from beginning to end, and we're going to see how far we get tonight. We have about 30 minutes that we are going to take. It's a 24-minute video. We're going to stop it at the end of each part of the clip, and we're going to discuss it. And we're going to have you discuss it.
Wait.
We want to take?
Are we playing the clips tonight?
Yes, you said
I
earlier
didn't
we
know
weren't.
that.
I know, because earlier when we were prepping, you were
Okay.
having fun with your soundboard. I said it a couple of times.
All right. So we were playing it and then stopping it and discussing. Is that what I heard?
Exactly.
Oh, Lord. All right, let me find it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a 2-hour show, easy, but that's fine.
No, I'm not saying that we're going to get through the entire set of clips, but we're at least going to get there. Since they are in order, we're going to talk to each of them. If you guys have questions, you can ask them as we go along, and make sure to put at KPro for me to see them, 250 people in the room. And then we're going to discuss those. We are not going to put out, other than the new clips that we have over in that video, we're not going to put out any new clips until after World Series of Fenn. World Series of Fenn is about 2.5 weeks away, and we are, because we have also a new segment that's going to be coming out, but we have, to get through this 24 minutes, it's going to take at least 4 or 5 shows.
Oh, we're not doing it all tonight. Is that what you're saying?
No, we're not doing it all tonight.
Okay. I think I got it now. All right, so we're going to roll it? What are we doing?
Roll that beautiful
All right.
thing.
Even though...
And you know where to cut off after each question, please.
Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get this going. Here we go, everybody. Ignore that. We're going to do this. All right, here we go. And I think I put November 6th down here. It is November 4th. November 4th, 2019.
What do you know about the chase that others do not?
Oh, I know all kinds of things. No, just kidding, just kidding. Forrest has been very careful not to tell me anything, and I don't ask. I don't look. I have not looked for the treasure. I did look once because I had a friend, Elizabeth Sebastian, who owns a ranch way up along the Guyana River, and she's 83 years old, and she was sure that the treasure was buried on her land, but she couldn't get to that place, and she asked me as a favor to go there. So I went there, and there was nothing there, and she was very disappointed, but that's how it works.
Okay, and now you've had
Okay. And some people might say to Douglas,
I wish you weren't a liar.
okay, go ahead.
Yes, because some people do believe
people
he knows
think,
something.
yeah.
He said at once upon a while, the 10th clue, we have a clip of that, so we're going to talk about that later. Some people think he knows more because he did say later in another clip that he did know something. So somebody, and Cynthia's in the room, so Cynthia might be able to answer this. Where was he looking exactly? I know he's looking where Desert File looks. I don't know, like where Desert File lives or looks or whatever.
True Believer has a question. It says, K-Pro, so is Douglas Preston the rich friend that only searched once and was within 200 feet? What do you think?
He was on, I think I had somewhere around here, I have my top 5, or I think it turned out to be 7 people that I thought could definitely be the 200-footer.
And you still think it's a possibility?
He was one of my top couple. I did a little bit more investigation, and I don't know if I think it's him, but he was definitely in the top 3 for me.
Yeah, and he just told you where if you believe him in that clip, he just told you where he searched the one time he went out. Maybe not exactly where, but he told you the river, which was a weird. What river did he say? What was it? Kakakaya? What was that? I don't know. Understand. Maybe somebody can put in the chat what river that was, but I'm not sure if you can tell where along the river he searched. So, yeah, I don't know. I can't say if he's a 200-footer or not.
Oh, here it is. Preston searched in the side canyon of the Chama Canyon River in New Mexico.
Oh,
so
okay.
Kind of Chama area. And it was on private property. It was on a woman's property that owned it, from what I'm understanding. But he's definitely...
River.
Galena River. Yeah. There you go. Galena River.
So
thank goodness for
all
Cynthia.
The New Mexico people are saying, yes, that's right. And everybody in the other states saying, no, he's not the 200-footer. So you guys got to make up your own decision.
Supposedly it was a very rich person. It was a man who searched with the woman and someone who knew Forrest well. Does Douglas fall in that category? Yes.
Yeah, he does.
Do a few other people fall in that category? Yes.
Galena. Okay. Tomato.
Okay. So that's the first clip. Unless you have any other questions, let's go on to the next one.
Hooley says that. Yeah, Hooley says Elizabeth that he references has rental cabins that are available. And somebody else says it makes you think when Forrest says, if you rent a cabin, what do you own? So people are just talking. That's all. That's why we're here to talk about the chase.
Yeah.
All right, we going more clips?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Thumbs up for more clips. Let me move it back. There we go.
There was nothing. Okay.
There we go.
That's how it works.
Next clip.
Okay, so now you've had in the foreword of Once Upon a While, and famously quoted another time with 2 different locations of this famous parking lot, what we call the 10th clue. So what is it about the Northern Arizona University parking lot and the Denver Museum of Natural Sciences parking lot? What's similar between them that we should be looking at, or searchers should be looking at, to discover the 10th clue?
Well, this is a mystery because you're going to have to ask Forrest this one. Now, it might be my faulty memory. I can't say for sure, but I'm pretty sure that 25 years ago, Forrest told me that they were going to find his car in the parking lot of the Museum of Northern Arizona. I think he told me that. Now, I mentioned that a couple of times, and then Forrest very much more recently said to me, no, that's wrong. The car would have been in the parking lot of the Denver Museum of Natural History. Okay, so you're going to have to ask him about that. I don't know. I may be misremembering or whatever. So.
Okay, I may be misremembering or whatever. So yeah.
Wasn't there 3 clips in a row? Because then we asked.
But
Forrest?
Because I put them in order, I put the Forrest and Douglas at the end after the Forrest part. So you'll hear Forrest's response if we get to it. I can fast forward to it and get it and key it up.
It's okay.
No, offline. I can get it ready.
Okay, so
I can play it.
Let's just skip this one. Let's skip it and go to the next.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Well, there was a reason I wanted them in a certain order. See?
That's all you care about.
Okay, here we go. All right, here's the next one.
When you wrote the poem, which stanza did you write first?
Well, I knew every step from the first one, from the first clue to the last one. It was already in my mind for a long time. But I think I'm correct in saying that I hid the treasure and then I went home and wrote the poem. I could have done it the other way around. I don't think it makes any difference because there was just one place under consideration in my mind to do that. But all of the nouns in that poem I looked up because I wanted to know exactly what does this word mean. And I found out that my conception of a lot of words is not what the dictionary says.
What significance?
I'm going to pause it there.
Yeah.
Okay. Nouns in the poem. He looked up every one. So to me, it leads credence to, if there's a word that's key, he looked up all the nouns. And in one of Terry Scant somewhere, if you look up nouns, he tells somebody every noun is important. I think that it may be a noun. That's the word that's key. But it's just my opinion.
Yeah, well, and more than, he didn't answer the which stanza did you write first. The one that I think is the most confusing is he hid the treasure, then he wrote the poem.
Yeah.
But we know years before he showed it to Chip and Douglas and versions everywhere. It doesn't make sense what that's saying.
Right, yeah, he didn't really answer, which I think he's saying, yeah, that's interesting. You ask him, and then he says, I think I'm correct in saying I hid the treasure, then I went and wrote the poem. And then he says it doesn't matter which way. So, I don't know. He didn't really answer the question.
Yeah, all the nouns he has said for a while, so I'm going to just put that into, that was a standard answer. I will say back to the parking lot clue, Cynthia and Toby were on one of AGK's show, and they said some of these answers seemed a little canned. The parking lot answer seemed canned to me from the Douglas one, because I think they knew I was going to be asking that question.
So Americana, what about words that are not nouns? Are they not important? They're important. All the words in the poem are important, but he has told us there is a word that is more important than the others. Yeah. Denise Bagley says it took 15 years to write the poem. So does he mean he finished the poem after he hid it? He didn't say he finished the poem. He says, I hid the chest and I went home and wrote the poem. And he said in other places it took him 15 years to write the poem. Has the treasure chest been out there for 25 years?
Didn't he say, I think it's right when I said?
He said, I think I'm correct. So, yeah, but he's also said this at another time, because I remember Dale called him out. But anyway, I think it's important that he says it doesn't matter. So that, to me, means it's a location he knows nobody will just randomly find. Let's say the chest has been out there for 20 years, 25 years. If what he said is correct, he hid it, then he came home, wrote the poem. It doesn't matter. He knows the only way you can find it is if you follow the poem. So.
Yeah, and if you look at Toby did a Toby in the car today, a Monday premiere that he's doing.
Toby in the car. Yeah.
Yeah, and he talked about how he answered the question for us, and he answered the question with Lorraine Mills back in 11 or 13 or whenever it was, and the answers were exactly the opposite. And it's like which one's telling the truth? I think he's getting down to getting the truth, kind of thing. So I thought it was interesting, that piece. So.
Okay.
Mark Hughes, have you moved your search state after all these interviews? No, I was thinking about it. I was thinking because of what he said about New Mexico. I tried to make it work again. I didn't. I'm right back up in Wyoming. So I think like every reporter, some reporters run out and they go to Yellowstone because they got the super secret hint. There aren't any. And I know there was a big lively debate last night about we got super secret hints sitting here, and it's like, Forrest Fenn has done this every 2 or 3 years. He said there's like 17 people in his family that's in line before Dale and Cynthia and me and Mike, and we didn't get anything. And there's many other documentaries being made. And I'm not even going to talk to the hate stuff. It's just, I'm ignoring it. And I'm going to delete it on any comments. If you think we got super secret hints, please deliver the treasure chest to me, because that means I should have it. And I don't. But keep going.
Okay.
Do the aberrations have, such as knowledge without the D?
Such as what?
The knowledge without the D?
I'm just having fun. As a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked me that question, because I think it was Einstein that said information is more important than knowledge. What's the quote?
Imagination is more important than knowledge.
Yeah. So it begs for me to misspell a word. If knowledge is taking a back seat to information, then why not misspell a word? That went over everybody's head. And I think that's so funny that I've done a lot of things like that. And I relish in the thought that I'm saying things that I'm the only one that knows what I said.
So, and some of these are longer because the reason I added some extra things is I wanted to just let it go. It's easier to clip it when you have a longer instead of little segments. So,
I'm sorry, you're a lawyer. There's that clip. There's the soundboard thing.
No, I don't play the soundboard against me. It's against you.
Exactly.
Or it could
This
be.
is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Hey, it's it's how I edited everybody. Sorry. But yeah, what he was saying is he's just having fun. So the D, no D in the knowledge, things like that. He's just having fun. The problem is, how are we supposed to discern the subtle hints that we're looking for in him just having fun with not like the D?
Because I did not ask about. Well, I asked about. Have we played the scrapbook one yet? Probably haven't. And
I don't know if we've played it's in this video or not. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So because he's told us.
I don't remember what's in there. Yeah. Go ahead.
The poem has no misspellings in it, does it?
The poem does not have any misspellings. That's correct. Not that I've ever
because
seen.
he puts misspellings in other things, scrapbooks, other things, misinformation, he's saying it doesn't mean anything.
No, I meant in the thrill of the chase. So in other words, he's like, I'm just having fun, but there are subtle hints we're supposed to look for in the thrill of the chase. So now how do I know what is he having fun with and what is one of the subtle hints we're supposed to find? That's right, Czar. The soundboard is great. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, and no, there's plenty of others saying the opposite of that, my friend.
What?
Yeah, they're saying take the soundboard away from you. But exactly, Denise says, yeah, he's the only one who knew what he said, and he said that in that clip.
Yeah.
And that has to be tough. We've done hunts where we've developed hints and clues and things, and oh my gosh, it's amazing where you think something's so easy and nobody figures it out, and vice versa.
We do have the super chat.
If I were Japanese, I'd say domo arigato.
Domo arigato. Thank you, Vanishing Race. Please play the scrapbook clip that is not in this video. I don't know if it's in this video or not, so I guess as we go through it,
I can't remember this video for the next 3 or 4 shows. This is because there's brand new clips in this video that we have not talked to and we'll bring context to. And then there is a scrapbook one. Yeah.
So Urban Scout says, if you all are getting super secret hints, then why would you guys and gals put it out there for all to know? Exactly. Well, some people think we aren't showing those. In other words, we're showing what we don't think's important. We're holding back what we think's important, and that's not the case. So.
Well, and I think some people know that there was some clips put out that I didn't know about of me when I did think I got a suit like the 200-footer, and I'm gonna go find it. And oh my gosh. I got hyped up just like reporters do and everybody else does. It's all out there now. So
maybe.
And then I should have the treasure chest if I've gotten all these hints.
And maybe some people who you say you talked to in the last 3 or 4 days thought that the reason you got upset is because I did release a super secret hint that wasn't supposed to be released. That's not the case, is it?
No, and here's what I want to say, because somebody asked me, when is the entire thing going to be put out, beginning to end, unedited? And I've said this 100 times, but I'll say it again. Never. And I don't mean never as in we're not going to get all the relevant information out. The clips from beginning to end, I'm already getting some grief because the one where Forrest had to turn and say, Cynthia, what was that imagination, knowledge? And she gave the quote. They thought it made Forrest look bad. That's what you don't do. Just like when Cynthia put out her clips, she took out the dead space and she took out some of the setup time. That doesn't mean there's any, we're putting out more. If we're going to do something devious, we would have done it before now. So the things that we are clipping out, 1 is going to be used for the documentary, and 2 is going to be sound. And there was a time it's like, okay, I needed to start some questions over. It just sounds not professional. And that's what we're trying to do. I'm learning a lot through all this. The biggest thing that I've learned is why all the documentarians don't do any of this. They're just silent right now. There's many out there that are working on hours and hours of interviews that they have with Forrest, and they're not putting any of it out except their documentary. Now I know why. Okay. And Shadow saying just admit it. I know. If I got the super secret hint, someone please deliver the treasure chest. I earned it.
So somebody just sent me, they can say in the chat if they want to say who it is. I think they already have. But they just emailed me a video that Douglas Preston put out of where he was searching. It's 47 seconds, but I don't know if we're allowed to play it because it is his video. It's almost like it's like Instagram, or it's called Jollygram. I don't know what that is, but yeah.
I don't want to get into any.
What I will do
issues.
is
we're on my channel, right?
Yeah, I'll put the link in the chat. Everybody, you can watch it, make your own decision. There it is. I don't know where that's from, but check it out.
Oh gosh, that makes me nervous.
Yeah, we'll check it out on our.
Okay, and here's a question from Copper Dan because I think it's an important one. If you had something from the interview you thought would blow the chase wide open, would you share it even if it was supposed to go into the documentary? Yes, I would share it, and here's the reason. The documentary clips are not for, they're to try to get this out in a bigger light. It's more introducing the chase, and there's some interesting things, but not things like the ones that we've already put out. There's a couple of them, I'll say groundbreaking. If you think some of these have been groundbreaking, then like when he says, why are people overlooking New Mexico? If you think that's groundbreaking, there are a couple of things like that, whether he's saying it honestly, dishonestly, or like kind of, you know, on the sly or whatever, but that's the level that we've gotten. He was sitting with Douglas and 4 other people, 3 of them searchers. It wasn't like we got him to say something, we slipped him a drink, and we were having fun at the Blue Corn. This was a formal interview he had prepared.
I got him to say the words in the poem. In my opinion, the word that's key is in the poem. I know some people are like, that's not what he said. But in my opinion, that's what he meant, because that's the question I asked him. So, and most people are like, well, we knew that, but he's never actually said it before. We got him to actually say it. Me and Cynthia kind of got him to say it. So yeah. So that was good.
So those are all the things that we've actually deviated from the traditional documentary. Usually you don't have the interview and then somebody chime in and this and that. So yeah, we got something. You guys have seen those types of things. It's as groundbreaking because again, some people are like, why didn't you ask this or that or the other? Because the ultimate goal was for the documentary. The storyline, you guys haven't even seen the storyline and the clips of the storyline. I still think it's going to be informational. It will be a nothing burger according to hints. What did she say?
Cynthia says, I slipped him a 50 on the way from his car into Doug's office. Going to get my money back now. You can win it back at the World Series of Fenn. Denise says, look up the word preposterous. It's very interesting. The question about clues with everything he says. Check out synonyms of that word. He's great, in my opinion. You know, there's at some point in this clip where Forrest says, I take what you ask me literal. And I can't remember if that's something I added or we released before. Maybe we'll get to it tonight. But at one of your questions, it might have been about the lead searcher. I don't know. But he says, I take what you say literal. I think the answers that Forrest gives us are literal, too. I don't think he's playing word games, Denise, just in my opinion. But
remember when he stopped and he said, is there an S at the end of that word before he would answer? I mean, he was really exact.
I think he's exact, and I think he's exact in his answers. I don't think I just don't think he's talking out of both sides of his mouth type thing.
Yeah. So. But I think he lets you get it wrong if you want to assume wrong.
Looking Glass says, K-Pro, what's the news that's going to blow the whole thing open? You know?
Okay, so I've heard secondhand 2 different quotes. One is it's going to blow this whole thing out of the water, and the other is big surprises.
There's an old saying in the news game. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Where did you hear this from? So this is Forrest basically saying about the surprises that are going to blow something out of the water?
Yes.
Yeah, well, then we don't know what it is. Forrest has never confirmed what it is to anybody. Or has he? No, I don't think he has he?
What is the new news? I can tell you, in my opinion, I think there's a few different books and projects that are completing this year that I think he knows are going to complete this year. I think those may or may not have additional information, kind of like, remember when he put out the cipher in Jenny's book? I could see something like that happening.
Yeah, Pirate 45. Now, I was laughing at Redneck Express when Forrest said, you only said one question. So in other words, he cut me off. Pirate 45 says, do you know if Forrest ever disclosed what the change in elevation is between the car and the hiding spot? I heard he refused to answer, but wondering if anyone knows. Well, if he refused to answer, nobody knows. No, I've never. Say it again? If he refused to answer, then nobody knows. The change in elevation between where he parked his car and where he actually hid the chest. Is there a change in elevation? I don't know that anybody ever actually asked him that question. But you said he refused to answer, so nobody's going to know because he refused to answer, if that's the case. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Alan K. said, and I get it. Some people are frustrated that we're not putting it all out right now. That's it. And, you know, this is done. And I'm sorry, there's just a bigger reason for it. And if there's much more frustration, we'll just shut everything down. And maybe in 6, 9, 12 months, we will put out the documentary only. We can go that direction.
Well, Copper Dan asked you a question. He says, K-Pro, when all this is done and after the documentary is out, can or will you release the unedited and whole interview for us to watch? What do you think? No?
No. And there's a reason for that. That is not from you have to remember, there is an actual documentarian out there that was in charge of all of the legal side and the releases, etc. And myself, from a professional standpoint, professional documentarians don't do that. Has there been one? There's been the lure and many documentaries out there. Has anyone ever done that? And actually, there's been one, and I would, you don't do that, and there's for a specific reason. You don't want to put Forrest in a bad light, or Douglas, or the interviewer when they stumble and fumble and they do different things. So is there times that others could do that? Sure. But is all of the content going to be put out? Yes. But if there is a, oh my gosh, I dropped my pen, hold on, that's going to be clipped out. Is everything going to be out there? I would like to make every effort, and Mike and I can make that commitment. That is what we will try to do. But the things that are completely useless, like when I drop my pen, like when Forrest says, hold on, say it one more time, maybe we clip that part out. Things that don't look good or fumble in words and start, those sorts of things are going to be taken out from a professional standard standpoint.
And I left something in this clip that I probably should have, because it has nothing to do with the questions. But and Copper Dan?
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
All right. Thanks for the question.
Okay.
All right.
You know what, though? I think people should have to request the soundboard. Otherwise, it doesn't get used at all anymore.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, my God.
All right. Let's get back to the clips. Here we go.
Let's get back. Oh, okay.
Did you ever anticipate every word that you would say or anything you would do would be taken as a clue or a hint for your treasure chest?
That's one of the things I did. I mean, no, I mean, that's preposterous, really. But I know that that's happened. And there's a guy by the name of Chris Frieda. You know that name? He has a PhD in electrical engineering, and he designs and makes microchips for a living. I mean, this guy's no dummy. He's a treasure hunter just back east. And he figured that if he read my books and learned something about me, then he could find a clue that would take him to the treasure. So he called me on the phone. He told me some things that were interesting to me, so I invited him to come see me. And he wanted to see my Vietnam scrapbook. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff from Vietnam, photographs and different things. And 328 missions are written in great detail. I wrote them as soon as I landed. I mean, this is something that it's pretty elaborate. So he started going through those things, and he couldn't believe some of the things that were in there. And he got interested in the fact that I'd been shot down twice, and once in Vietnam and once in Laos. And I made the comment in my debriefing after having been shot down in Laos. I made the comment that I'd just come off a tanker and the airplane was full of fuel, and I ejected from the airplane, and I watched it crash into what we call a cliff or a bluff in this country. They call karst over there. And he got into that thing mathematically, and they figured that the airplane flew for 55 seconds after I ejected out of it. And he hired a couple of guys, an expatriate from Australia and some local Laotian natives, and they all got machetes, and there were a lot of tigers in that jungle, so they hired this guy with an AK-47 to go with them, and they hacked their way through the jungle. I mean, these gave me wonderful videos of them doing this. And they went to the spot where the airplane crashed, except it wasn't there. But they knew it had been there, so they started cutting the underbrush, the stuff that's a foot off, the weeds that are a foot off the ground. And then they started picking up pieces of my airplane. Aluminum tubing. They found a big piece of one of my tires, and he got the nomenclature off of that, and he researched, and he found out, because he wanted to make sure that was my airplane, my F-100. So he found out that tire, the nomenclature on that tire told him that only two different types of fighters in the Vietnam War used that tire, and the the other airplane was an F-106, and we lost six F-106s, and he researched where every one of them crashed, and there was another F-100 that crashed about 2 miles from where my airplane was, so he did some research and eliminated that. And he wrote a lengthy story about that. And the closest village was 2 miles away, and 11 people lived in that village. Well, he got permission from the chief of the village, the chief of 11 people, and hired a couple of people out of that village to go with him, and they knew where the wreckage was. The airplane was gone because he was told that the Chinese wanted the metal. They were buying all kinds of metal, and they took that airplane apart, I think, a screw at a time, and hauled it out of there. But a lot of the things they didn't want, and those things are still there. And he gave me a little cast aluminum piece of my airplane that laid in that jungle for 51 years, waiting for those guys to come get it. That's one of my prized possessions today. But
all right, that one was a little long, but Vanishing Race had a super chat.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for the super chat. And they say Forrest takes a big detour here. What do you think? The question you asked him was, did you think everybody would think every word is a clue or a hint? And he says that's preposterous. And then he goes into the Chris Fertitta, I think I got the name right, story.
And do you know why he went into Chris Fertitta?
Why?
Because Chris Fertitta started this entire project because he thought if he could figure out where the plane was, it somehow would give him a hint hanging on every word, every interaction. Know that. Yeah, at the very beginning of that. Yeah, and once you see, I don't think we've put it out. I'm sorry, I'm not teasing. I'm just saying I don't have memory exactly right now. Actually, I don't know all the clips that are out.
Yeah.
The one about the bracelet and why he wants the bracelet back.
Right.
Is it his most prized possession, or is it, that kind of thing?
Right.
And I think that ties to this clip. So in my opinion, I thought exactly what Vanishing was saying until I really looked back. And when he says at the beginning, yeah, this one guy, he was going out, but here's the other thing. You've ever been, I've met Forrest a bunch of times, let's just say. He has a new story. He has some awesome stories, and he has refined them over time. And I've heard the same story with 3 or 4 different visits, and it's awesome every time I hear him, but he has some key stories. I think this one is going to be a key story. He's had a scrapbook about it. I've heard him tell the story. I think he wants that story has hit him at 90 years old with all the wealth and happiness he had something that affected him big time. And I think it's that.
Okay, Vanishing Race.
If I were Japanese, I'd say domo arigato.
Domo arigato for that super chat. And they said, thanks for the clarification. The hint is there, though. And Denise Bagley also said, I forget how you worded it, Denise, something like, interesting story. And I thought what people were taking from it is he's like, Chris went to where he thought the plane was. It wasn't there. In other words, searchers are going to where they think the chest is, and it's not there. So what do? You look around, So it was kind of like an analogy to finding the treasure chest, looking for his plane. But everybody takes things a different way, right? We all have our own theories.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and he didn't say it in this clip, Craig Carter. He does talk about, I think the question that I had was, why do you want the bracelet back? Why the bracelet? And there was a whole interchange about that. Because here's what I will say. We were supposed to go for a 5-minute interview with Forrest, and then we didn't really define it, but it was definitely supposed to be within like a half an hour's time. I had a list of questions, then I had a list of backup questions, then I had a list of backup questions. They gave us so much time that I was done. I had all of my questions, and they always say have more questions. They answered so many things,
they were very
and then
nice.
I was on the fly doing it. Then we did it together, and then we looked around his office, and we did. We had a great time, but it was one that we have a lot more. So that's the reason for the not in order as well. Like the parking lot one, we can't really discuss the one parking lot one without the other one. They're in order, so we might get back to it once we got to clip it in order. So anyway, okay.
And somebody asked, when did this guy find this plane? Look on Dale's blog. It's one of the scrapbooks. One of the scrapbooks is about Chris finding this plane.
It was
wreckage.
just before we got there that he put the scrapbook together. So I think it was last summer
that
this happened.
Yeah, it was sometime last year.
Yeah.
All right, we'll keep going.
Okay.
I was gonna say, how did that make you feel when you saw the piece and now you have it?
When I was filling my treasure chest up with things that I wanted it to be valuable, which means you have to put small things in there. And so I put several hundred, maybe 1,000 gold nuggets in there. There's some beautiful little jade pieces, and I'm trying to get to your question.
No, please. Yeah,
and
you're fine.
But when everything was ready to go hide the treasure chest, I had kind of an empty feeling. I'm going to go hide this treasure chest, but it's not with me anymore. I mean, I'm not part of it, and I felt empty. And I started thinking about that, and then it came to me. I had this wonderful little bracelet that Richard Wetherell, when he climbed down into Mesa Verde the very first time, he discovered Mesa Verde. When he climbed down the very first time and entered Mesa Verde, the ruins, he picked up these 22 little turquoise beads. A year or so later, when he was excavating the ruin, Richard Wetherell had an Indian working for him in the excavation that made a little rope bracelet out of those 22 beads. Well, a lot of things happened. An Indian shot and killed Richard Wetherell. I mean, there's a myriad of events that took place after that, but then the bracelet was sold to Fred Harvey. The Harvey houses, you know, the Grand Canyon, he owns all those concessions. And then when he died, that collection was being acquisitioned into the Herd Museum in Phoenix. Well, it just so happened that Byron Harvey was a friend of mine. He was a relative of Fred Harvey's, and I was talking to him one day, and he showed me this bracelet. And I said, well, I'll play you a game of pool for that bracelet. This guy was certifiably crazy. I mean, you had to like the guy, but when I first went in his house in Phoenix, he had Maria Potts lined up, and he was rolling one like a bowling alley, breaking Maria Potts. I mean, he was known to jerk the phone off the wall in the Herd Museum because he got mad. But anyway, I won that bracelet in a pool game. So I told myself, you know, if I put that bracelet in this treasure chest, that's part of me. And that was the last thing I put in. I closed the lid and I said, yeah, that's okay. I'm part of the thing from now on.
So that was a little explanation. He goes into details on how he acquired the bracelet, which we've heard before. I think he added some extra pieces, but he wanted something personal in there. I think, you know, the gold nuggets and things that he had, there's just riches, but he wanted something personal to him, and that was the bracelet. That was the last thing that he added. Right? What do you think?
Yeah, I was getting distracted by the chat. I don't think is that the entire clip?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe we cut it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember something a little different.
But but I think your question that you're referring to was later. I don't think it was right then.
Yeah. See, and that's.
Yeah, this stuff isn't in order the way we asked it either. So.
Right. So like he talks about the bracelet in minute, let's say 17, and then hour 2, minute 6. I would like those two together so we could have a discussion about the bracelet, but we didn't do it that way. So we have an incomplete discussion. Oh, man.
That happens.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Stop it, you guys. It's not right.
Okay, wait. Craig Carter says his original plan was to take his most prized possessions with him after recovery. He replaced all that with coins and nuggets and removed the most personal items, not a part of him.
Except for the bracelet. He just said he wanted to put something. Because now when he does go to hide it, he knows he's not going to die with it. So he wanted one thing. That's what he just said. He wanted something that meant something.
I just know the other part, and I think that flies in the face of it, which we'll have to discuss in 3 weeks.
Well, I didn't think
why
it was
ask Preston any questions? He didn't hide the treasure, so why should we believe anything he says? Nordic, that was a, so if you look at the current documentaries that are out there, the current documentaries talk with searchers. Why talk with searchers? They don't know anything, even though they might think they do. And I think that's an interesting angle. We know that Douglas was a part of at least once upon a while saying the 10th clue. Douglas has been a part a couple of different times when he goes boots on the ground. We thought that would be an interesting angle or an interesting storyline for the show or for the documentary. So there's also some interviews of people that, if we can get them all, they are going to be something very different than you've seen of the traditional documentary, which is Forrest saying, I did this, and then 4 searchers going out and their search stories. We still have some of that, but our main storyline is going to be very different, and Douglas is a part of that.
Another super chat from Vanishing Riches.
Thank you for that.
We do appreciate it. Is Forrest Fenn's bio due out before or after his birthday? You know the answer to that, K-Pro?
I do not. I
don't think anybody
everything
knows.
in the world, though, gets delayed. So
yeah, I don't think anybody knows a release date. I know we don't. Copper Dan with the big super chat.
If I were German, I'd say Donka Shane.
Donka Shane, Copper Dan. Sassy says, keep up the good work on that soundboard. Yeah, Sassy hates the soundboard. I don't know why. I haven't even played the bad ones yet.
do not play the. We will not get monetized if you do that.
We're going to find out. This video's the test, so we're going to find out.
Oh, good. I'm glad we have.
Yeah, so why not play all of them? And, yeah.
If you throw an F-bomb,
it's not an F-bomb. What are you talking about?
There was a couple that had some naughty words.
You, that's all you care about.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Sassy says, oh, that's the actual super chat. Thanks, Copper Dan. Appreciate that. Let's not encourage him.
Madison Badger.
Yeah, I think.
If I were French, I'd say merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup for that super chat. Don't give me that look.
Madison, I think Forrest Fenn's treasure is within 500 feet of a parking lot. Could be a trailhead, hot springs, etc. The parking lot is on the map, just a guess. And I think that's interesting. I think some people think that's the reason for the 200, 500 remarks of those particular feet out. And when he says isolated, but he was surprised that nobody saw him when he hit it.
That's in the clip we're going to play. There's some,
clips.
People heard that wrong, I think. Yeah,
so people are assuming very different. And so, let's just hear it again and discuss it. And that's the reason we need to discuss it. But let's earmark, and everybody remember, let's earmark. I think, Mike, we need to redo. I know this video took you forever, but it's chopped it up in a way that we can't discuss it. Like the bracelets and the.
Oh, well, actually, okay. Well, then we can redo it. I'm okay with that. We're just going to have to sit down and take some time to do it. But I agree that there is a parking lot within 500 feet of the treasure chest. Just my opinion, but I agree with that.
I agree with that, too. And some people asked me, why 1 mile? Why 1 mile? I can tell you, Forrest would not have sent me out and to get hurt. And so I strongly agree.
3D Bronze, play the soundboard again.
How long you been waiting to crack out that gem?
All right. Thank you, 3D Bronze, for the super chat.
No, did you see what he actually said? He said, play the worst soundboard
sound,
please. No.
There's not really a worst, is there?
I thank the Lord you don't know which one I'm referring to. Well, I will turn red if you better not, Michael.
What? Well, there is another one for the World Series of Fenn. People have been asking about that weekend. Let's see.
I would like to make a romance inside of her.
Well, it's Valentine's Day. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's get back to the clips before I get in trouble anymore.
Copper Dan, Mike, staying with you.
So talking about when someone does find the treasure, it is there. The chest and the contents are theirs, correct? They will own that treasure.
I said in my poem, I give you title to the gold.
Okay.
But there are a lot of subchapter S's to that rule too. But I don't want to go there.
Okay. What recommendation do you give to the finder?
Okay.
Yeah, well,
what?
He goes back. He does say, let me go back to that. Maybe we should listen. Just there's so much to unpack right there.
Oh.
Okay, here's what I want to say. I asked the question, do they own the treasure chest and the contents? His answer was, the poem says you have title to the gold.
So in his mind, I think that the poem answers that question. But I'm just saying. What do you think? Why do you think?
We already know that we don't own the rights to the bio or autobiography that's in there.
So you're saying we own the gold, we don't own the rest of it, maybe?
I'm saying there's something to his answer. There's something here. There's a there.
That's actually interesting that the way you just phrased that he only said, the poem only says title to the gold. I wonder if you're obligated to donate the rest of the artifacts to a museum of some kind or sell them to a particular place.
He doesn't want his stuff in a museum. What? Do not touch? No, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that I thought I think he answered a question that I could have gone back and said, well, does that title to the gold mean the trust, you know?
Yeah.
But we know we don't own one item that's in there. So
Which is what?
Which is the autobiography. We do not own the rights, the copyright.
But I own it, meaning I get to keep it. Just as if I was to buy Stephen King's book off the shelf, I own that book. I don't own the copyright to the story. You know what I mean? I own what's in that olive jar in the chest when I find it. That's the way I look at it. I guess because I don't own the copyright, what does that mean? I can't reproduce it?
Exactly. You can't
Yeah.
sell it.
But
Like,
I own.
his family's going to make that money.
I own that copy. Was that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think I'm just saying, when this story comes out, Forrest has said there's going to be a story with it. There's a there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the subchapter S, in one of the comments on one of the videos, somebody said subchapter essence, ESSENCE. No, it's subchapter S, the letter S. Subchapter S. Just look up subchapter S.
Subchapter S, plural, with a little s. Big S, little s.
Right,
So,
right.
And I definitely want to do some additional follow-up with Carter. Okay, hold on. Jeffrey says he has said that before.
Years ago.
The subchapter S is, or
Not subchapter S. I think that's new. I think he's saying
No, I
that
think
do you
that's
own it or not. Thank you for the super chat.
If I were Danish, I'd say manga talk.
Manga talk. Okay. Yeah, he has said that the finder finds it. It's up to the finder. He said things like, I'm out of it. The finder does what they want to do with it. The finder owns it. Stuff like that. He's never said subchapter S before that I know of. And I wonder if that's what Douglas Preston meant when he said, there's something I heard in that seed I've never heard before. Maybe it was subchapter S is the thing.
Yep.
All right, keep going.
So hold on. Anagram says it's not an autobiography, it's a memoir, and yes, it's important.
He said different things. I think he has said, I don't know if he used the word biography. I'm not sure when it comes to the olive jar.
Autobiography. Yeah. Okay.
We'd have to look on Terry Scant for that one, everybody. We're doing good, not important. How are you? Just want to say thanks to everybody for joining us on this Monday night. Hope everybody enjoyed MLK Day. I know I had the day off, which is nice. Yeah. All right, let's go back to the interview.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think they should be public? Do you think they should remain anonymous?
I've said several times that if you find that treasure chest, put it under your bed and leave it there for 30 days without doing anything. There's a lot that you need to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of things. I've spent a lot of time thinking about that. I spent $5,000 with an attorney researching what happens if it's found on private property, Indian land, government land being Bureau of Reclamation, Corps of Engineers, BLM, National Park Service, Forest Service. There's 20 of those things, and every one of them has a different rule. So it's not that easy, but it's certainly doable. And that's why I say put it under your bed and leave it for 30 days, because you need to think about every one of those things.
Now, when you have thought about...
So he just said it's not easy, but it's doable. And I wonder if he meant that we have to make decisions to make it doable. In other words, if he thought of everything and he laid it out, what are we thinking about? I think we're not going to have decisions to make when we find it, right?
Well, yeah, so there's a couple of things. I think when he's talking about that, think of the Crazy Birds and do you want to be public? Do you want to be private? I think that's a piece of it. And then how are you keeping it? Are you selling it?
Right,
what are you doing with it? I think both of those need some thought through. Not, he doesn't want it to give it. Well, he said back in the Lorraine Mills, why the person who finds it, why would they want to remain anonymous or something like that? And he's like, well, they might not want the IRS to know.
Right.
That might be a reason for that. But he said that he spent $5K on an attorney. We know that he spent, and that's the reason for my question about land change ownership. He spent, and I wish I would have asked this question, why did you spend money on an attorney both before and after you hid the treasure chest? Mm-hmm. Shouldn't he have thought of everything beforehand? If he's going to an attorney, there's something that either changed or he didn't think about beforehand, right?
Right, I agree with that. Yeah, for sure. I think so. All right, let's see what else he has to say. Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's, if you were on private property, you wouldn't need lawyers. Well, what if he dies? What if it's an S corp and you are needed to be a partner? Or maybe there's a condition. That would have been another good question. Is there a condition in the treasure chest that says you need to now own this land, so you need to go down and buy the deed or buy the property, and here's the real estate agent to talk to, or whatever.
Right.
If there's some condition for you to be able to get ownership. Some people think proxies and things like that. Definitely.
Well,
could be.
Missouri Dave points out, he says the finder should put it under their bed for 30 days, not turn it into the ranger or anyone else to go through a process. That's true. He said take it home, put it under your bed. So not in Yellowstone, everybody.
Your point
I
though
know.
is it's not easy. Why is it not easy? I thought he has said I've thought of everything, and that's why I spent money with an attorney. Doesn't that mean he has a strategy?
He could have thought of everything for himself. I think the finder has got decisions to make. He says it's not easy, but it's doable. So I will see. Hopefully whoever finds it comes on here and we talk about it. All right, here we go. So I think he expounds a little bit here.
That there has been a lot of media recently of transitions of land from, let's say, BLM to a different type of land. Did you consider that when you when you worked so at the treasures on one type of land and it transitions to a different?
I don't want to go there.
Don't want to go there. Okay.
Was that new? I'm not sure.
But let me make one comment. If you rent,
no, it's not new.
If you rent a cabin on private property in northern New Mexico, it's sitting out there by itself. You rent it. What are you renting? You're renting a place to sleep. What are you renting? The backyard? Are you renting the front yard? Can you use the barbecue pit out there? And if you can use those things, then that's your property, isn't it, for 24 hours? You see where this can go?
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I mean, what do you own? You don't own any of it. You're renting it. It's yours to use. It is yours to use, but I'm not sure what he meant, and I'm not sure what his point is on that one.
Well, let's break this up. I asked about transitioning of land, and shout out to Mike, not you, Mike, but the other Mike that's up on Harry's. He posted maybe a year ago something about in Colorado, there was some land that had moved from, I want to say BLM land to National Forest or something like that. And he was the one that sparked my interest. The only thing I remember from it is Mike saying, what if there was a designation of land and it changed the rules of if you find the treasure chest?
Right.
And it always stuck with me. So his answer to that question was, I don't want to go there.
Right.
Hard stop. Then he started but I want to make another comment. So first, he doesn't want to answer the transition of land. Why?
Because it's
he
important.
Doesn't have a legal answer. It's
yeah,
not important.
Right.
It is important.
Yeah. Maybe he doesn't want to go there because it's not an issue. Right. He doesn't want to talk about it because it's not. Yeah. Like he said in the one news interview, what if there is no legal issue?
Yeah. Well, and then the second one is to your question. So when you rent something, you rent the place to sleep, but do you rent the front yard, the barbecue pit? Do you own it? You don't own it.
But you are allowed to use it while you're there for the 24 hours.
Right.
But
say owning something is different than renting it. I mean, if you own a house versus you rent a house.
Maybe what he meant was owning it, meaning it's mine to use as I want to for the 24 hours. In other words, it'd be similar to saying I own it for those 24 hours. Nobody else can use it but me for those 24 hours.
Do. Squatters have got squatter rights. They own that whether somebody wants them in there or not. So I guess I see your point. Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying I own it while I rented it. I own it. It's mine to use as I please. And then he says, do you see where this can go? I mean, what if Forrest rented the land where the treasure chest is, and now somebody else owns it? Does that, I don't know, does that change anything?
And that person has to go, to Parade Rest and rent it again and go to the fireplace or the creek in the back of that, wherever he took, the horse and went out and had a great time. And you have to rent it, though, to be able to go and retrieve it. It sounds far-fetched to me, but maybe.
Oh, William with the super chat analogy. If I pay to get into Yellowstone, what do I get for that admission? I think you're allowed to go through. You're paying to get in. You're paying for admission to get into the park.
Yeah, but let's go back to his original statement. I do agree with you, but when he said, I went and I looked at Army Corps of Engineers and BLM and this and that, and then he's like, what if none of that matters? And I'm summarizing. But what if none of that matters? What if you're renting something? Because there are different rules for every single one of them. So he has done this in a way that doesn't matter, is what I'm taking. Well, it doesn't matter if it's on private property or whatever. There's some exclusion, some loophole. And I think Carter's presentation, I have to go back and watch it again and really look at the S Corp legal whatever.
This is interesting. Another super chat from Kiwi. So William and Kiwi.
If I were Greek, I would say Eucharisto.
Eucharisto. Thank you for the super chats. But Denise Begley put it, and now Kiwi put it in a super chat. You don't have to hand over mislaid property in any national park if you know who the owner is. It's that simple. In other words, if I find a wallet in Yellowstone National Park, it's got the driver's license, and let's say the phone number's there. I don't have to turn that into the park ranger. I can just, if I can give it to the person it belongs to. That's what they're saying. That's interesting. I never heard that before.
If Denise or Kiwi could give me, I went through their regulations because I thought it was in one of my solves was in Yellowstone. I went through their regulations. Oh my God, it points you to here and it points you to this and it points you to that. They renumbered and this and that. If you have some specifics there, I would love to see the specifics that you have, and we could show it maybe on a future show of exactly what you're saying. They have a set of regulations. If you find something, if it's lost property, if it's abandoned property, if it's this, if it's...
But it's none of that because it's not lost. Forrest knows where it is. Is it abandoned? What is the definition of abandoned property?
Exactly. They define it for them in the regulations. Okay. So we might have a layman's term for lost. Lost is different than abandoned. It's different than this. It's different than that. I went through all of it. I was making a grid because I thought it would be like national park if it's lost or abandoned, and then had a reference. It got so crazy. I was like, no, I can't do this. I thought that would be cool for everybody.
So let's try a thought experiment, everybody, that I'm just thinking up on the fly. I'm in Yellowstone. I lose my cell phone and my wallet. They're there wherever I dropped them. Oh, great. I'm in Yellowstone and I lost my cell phone and my wallet. Somebody finds it 2 hours later. They call the cell phone. They call my buddy who's with me in our imaginary thought process. They call my buddy and say, hey, I got your cell phone in your wallet. I just found it. You want to come pick it up? And me, being the nice guy I am, I say, just keep it. Does that person have to turn that into the park ranger? Or can they say the owner just said, I'd keep it. This is mine now. How's that?
Oh, I don't know.
Isn't that similar to what Forrest Fenn is doing? He's saying, I put it there. I know where it is. If you find it, you can keep it.
Right. So I want to further this thought process.
Okay.
So somebody decides to go out and start putting in Yellowstone Park without people knowing, starting a business or starting an adventure that sells books and starts to put stuff all around Yellowstone and says, guys, if you find it, Yellowstone is my church and I am going to put stuff all through Yellowstone. I don't think legally you're allowed to do that.
To leave something in Yellowstone?
Yeah, isn't that littering? I'm not saying that's but you know what I mean.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if you can intend.
Let's take it to the extreme to see if the logic prevails.
Right. But then the other thing is, I don't think Forrest cares about the park rules, meaning that nobody's going to accidentally find it. The person who finds it will have read the poem and know exactly what it is. He's not worried about a park ranger accidentally finding it. So I don't know if that changes, or it's not in the park. It's on BLM. Does BLM have those same rules?
BLM has the least stringent of any of the rules. When I used to just on the fly go shooting, I went to BLM land because it was easiest. You could go on, you could shoot as long as you try that on.
There's nobody to turn it into. Right? BLM, there's no ranger.
BLM, they came out. They said hi. What? They looked at all the.
Was it like DNR almost? Like people that work there?
I don't know who it was, but they came and someone that looked like a cop or looked like a ranger came out and was like, hey, what are you guys doing? And we're like, we're shooting. And we showed how we had all the, it's set up in an appropriate way. So anyway.
Yeah, interesting. There's a lot of wormholes. Everybody has their opinion on it. You don't turn it in. You have to turn it in. You can't turn it in because it's Forrest Fenn's and he knows. And there's a lot to it.
That one, there's a there as well. I don't know what it is. Maybe we're going to talk about future marathons. This is one that would be interesting to talk.
Look at that smile, everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Estimate the number of searchers at this point, or searches.
Well, 2 summers ago, I spent a half a day on that search again. At that time, I had received 250,000 emails. That's 100 a day for 9 or 10 years. I forget now what. That was 2 years ago. But I just don't know. There've been people searching in all 4 states. I think there are more people searching in New Mexico than people make a big deal out of Montana and Wyoming and northern Colorado. They're kind of overlooking New Mexico. But the mayor of Santa Fe gave me a proclamation because the occupancy rate in the motels was up 6% over two years in a row, and nobody could figure out why. They blamed it on their treasure chest.
So that one makes me lean toward New Mexico. He says there's more people looking in New Mexico, and then he kind of pauses, and then he says there's people looking in Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and they're kind of overlooking New Mexico. And then he goes into the proclamation he got, and there's a lot of people here in New Mexico.
Now he clarified somewhere, I don't remember where, if you are in the chat and you remember where, if it was on Facebook or so, he clarified to somebody, if you look at the blogs, there were some people that moved, Cynthia, from New Mexico up north, and that made a lot more people think about up north than before. Before, he has said New Mexico had a majority of the searchers. A lot of people, after years of searching in New Mexico, they have moved. Okay, there's a couple things in the chat. Let's continue this,
okay,
but there's a couple things in the chat because I totally disagree with this, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but because it's said in chat, I want to answer to it. Michael O'Connell says, it's hard to punish an elderly person when they don't need to worry about man-made laws, just God's laws. Eternity is a very long time. No, worry about our laws. Don't go to jail and don't break laws and don't die in this treasure hunt. So be very safe. So I will say, I don't know what how many layers there were there, but in general, and again, I've talked to people that have gotten into legal issues. No, the opposite by a lot. Probably 1,000 from KPRO, at least, I will say. Yes, Forrest and I have interchanged emails a lot. And this is over 5 years. And yeah. Anyway.
Okie Chest Chaser says, Forrest said they blamed it on their treasure chest. Why am I the only one who can hear that? Did he say their or the treasure chest? I guess we could replay it.
Sure.
Yeah, let's check that out. See if I went back far enough.
I should have asked that question. Do you have to break the law to get the treasure chest?
To me, that's obvious. But yeah, you could ask. He would have answered, I think. Here.
People make a big deal out of Montana and Wyoming and northern Colorado. They're kind of overlooking New Mexico. But the mayor of Santa Fe gave me a proclamation because the occupancy rate in the motels was up 6% over two years in a row, and nobody could figure out why. They blamed it on their treasure chest.
Yeah, it does sound like he says their treasure chest. But
I think he says the.
Yeah,
play it again.
All right. I don't think it matters either way, but it is interesting.
Said over two years in a row, and nobody could figure out why. They blamed it on their treasure chest.
Oh.
They blamed it on their treasure chest.
If it's their treasure chest, that means it's New Mexico's treasure chest, and it's in New Mexico.
But when you put together a couple of things he said, including the Australian interview that Cynthia put out, when he asked him if you always known the location, Forrest says, well, always is a long time. But let's just say, I forget how the rest of it goes. But when he says always is a long time, to me, he's saying it wasn't there when I was a kid. It's not always, meaning always. He went back to New Mexico, or he went to New Mexico in 72, 74, somewhere around there. 88's when he got cancer. He had been living in New Mexico. Mountains north of Santa Fe in the book. I'm starting to lean toward New Mexico a little bit more. Sorry.
Okay, go someplace that Cynthia has it.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Well, Cynthia could have overlooked it.
Okay, just because Michael has responded, I want to respond.
Yeah.
No one should break any laws, but Forrest Fenn doesn't need to worry about National Park Service rules and laws. If it's in a national park, he does. The worst thing in the world is like the raid. Like, he doesn't want somebody finding it. Let's say it's that special person that finds it, and then the government gets it because they believe they own it. That would be the worst thing. That's why he spent money. That's why he did all of that. In my opinion, and I might be wrong because I'm wrong a lot. So, okay. Oh, good night, Violet.
Yep, good night.
Thank you for coming in. Okay, so, and you know what? We're going to need to cut this off soon. Maybe one or two more, and then we will discuss the remainder.
No phone calls?
Well, we still need to do World Series of Fenn.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll go for another 10 minutes.
Why don't we cut it off and do 10 minutes of phone calls, and each person only gets 3 minutes?
Right now?
Yeah.
All right,
You
we
can
can do
ask
that.
questions on anything that we've talked about so far, anything related to the documentary, although we...
Give me a second.
And then we have to discuss the World Series of Fenn, and we have to discuss a new segment that I think you guys would be really interested. It'd be really interesting.
True. So don't call yet. It's not ready yet, but this is the number when I say it's ready. Because right now, if you call, you're going to get a voicemail. And I do have to point out, everybody, that is the only number that reaches us. I accidentally put a different phone number in the chat last time. Don't go looking for it because I deleted it. But that person has been getting calls. I apologize sincerely. 702-530-9260 is the only number where you can get through to K-Pro and Cow. And then I got this from the phone company as far as our calls.
The fingers you have used to dial are too fat. To obtain a special dialing wand, please mash the keypad with your palm now.
That's not nice. I don't know why anybody would send that in, but anyway. All right, you say what you got to say, and then we'll open up the phone lines.
On which one?
Oh, would you go and write the phone lines, or did you want to say something first?
No, we're going to do, at the end, we're going to do World Series of Fenn and the new segment. But no, phone lines now. Let's do it for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe nobody wants, but anybody for clips tonight, and then anything related to the documentary, feel free to call in. We reserve the right to hang up.
Oh, doesn't want to come up. Give me a second. Phone calls, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be waiting for your call. You know what I'm saying?
What? All right. Thumbs up for clips.
You definitely have the dad jokes.
I think my dad jokes. My internet's having an issue, everybody. Hang on. Ah, there we go. Yeah, phone lines are open. Oh, your fingers aren't too fat. All right, here we go. There's the number. You guys can call if it's related to the clips or related to the World Series of Fenn, I guess. We're going to talk about that. They're not dad jokes. We're going to talk about that next. World Series of Fenn right here, if anybody's interested. Not Beetlejuice. Not Beetlejuice.
Okay, so why don't we talk about...
How much did we play of the video? Yeah, go ahead. I just want to see how much we played. So we played 15 minutes out of 24. So there is another 10 minutes that we will go over, but we'll go over that on another show. Next show.
Yeah, well, and I will say that there was 2 longer stories in the first 15 minutes. A lot more of it is smaller and chopped up. Yes, please take the soundboard away from him. Okay, I'm going to start talking about World Series of Fenn in case anybody... Well, let's talk about the new... and Cynthia, I'm signing you up for this. I don't know if I've talked to you about it. I don't think I have. One of the ideas that came out of the marathon at the very end when there was like 16 people on, they called it Clash of the Titans, and I love this. So we are going to ask by request. So you, the chat room, if you have a question or a topic that you would like to see 2 of the Titans, define that however you want. But I could see Cynthia versus Michael Hull, or Toby versus Cynthia, or Alan Kay. He did that great presentation. You can tell he's got a lot that it'd be almost like a crossfire.
Like the jaws of life.
Hey, sorry about that. That was about misfire. Deaf Neighbors, thank you for the super chat. What I was trying to play was...
Thank you for that.
That right there. Okay, thanks for the super chat.
So we're calling it Clash of the Titans. So if you want to email me at kpro3@aol.com or up on Thor, wherever you want to get a hold of me, and you have an idea. Joel Lewicki's another one. Copper Dan versus Superman. Nice.
He
nice,
means me,
Joel
right? Oh, maybe not.
Yeah. I could see Joel Lewicki versus Carter, and they could have the battle of the legal side of what kind of land it's on. So if you have an idea for a show that you want to see 2 of the Titans, define that however you want. I will reach out to those Titans and ask them, do you want to do kind of a crossfire? We would have a regimented set of rules.
So it's point, counterpoint, that type of thing.
Yes.
2 people for them to come up with your idea or your topic and get their opinions. Okay.
Yes.
I don't know where I
So
tighten.
it would be like 2 minutes opening statement from each side.
Yeah.
Then you have, here's the question. You have 1 minute. I'm almost like the,
it's like a debate, like the presidential debate. Yeah.
The debate.
And then we could take phone calls about it. So speaking of phone calls, we do have a voicemail. Let's listen to it now.
Oh.
Yeah, Mike and K-Pro. I just finished looking up about the treasure thing, and if it's called mislaid, it's under a different ruling. Talk to you later, bye.
Oh, so I think he's referring to the rules of Yellowstone, and he's saying if it's mislaid, it's a different ruling. But is Forrest Fenn's treasure chest mislaid? In other words, if I lose my wallet, that's mislaid. But what if somebody intentionally places something? That's the question.
And that's
all
when
these
I got
legal
into
things.
All of this. Yes.
We need a lawyer.
Sassy said she would debate me. Ooh, let's pick a topic. But I want to give somebody at least a week or two to be able to. This probably won't. Well, we'll see when it happens, but. Time to prepare whatever the topic is. Cynthia and I did a little bit of this of North versus South. How many times was it stated in TTOTC, et cetera? So it's something like that. I think that I think that could be some fun. And I've talked to a couple people and they're like, I'm up for it, but I need to know the topic. I need to know the rules, all of that. So if you have that idea, you can put it in chat. You can put it in the comments below. You can put it on Thor. You can email me, put it, I'll find it.
Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, somebody said Forrest Fenn versus Douglas Preston.
Joel Lewicki says mislaid applies to certain types of personal property. Okay, I think if we could get a lawyer somehow, let's say a lawyer about land ownership, to come in and just answer some general questions. I mean, if anybody knows one, that would be great, to come in and answer questions from the community.
Joe, I don't hate all lawyers. There's some lawyers I like. I don't like going to court. It's a relatively recent phenomenon that I'm a part of, and I don't like it. I will say. That's it.
Yeah, you know what they say. You know what they say about court.
It's a piece of crap. It doesn't work.
So some people don't like court. Some people do. I guess it depends if you win or not. Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, you can mislay something that you know where you placed it. Oh no.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm gonna go just start putting crap all over Yellowstone. It's important to me, and it's my treasures.
Somebody put a proxy item out there at one point. Remember that?
Stolen within seconds.
So is that mislaid? I don't know. And then somebody found it, and they got what they were supposed to get. So I don't know.
Maybe a survey, maybe a assessor's office. Ooh, I don't know. No, there's something here. We have a judge in the room. What?
Nice.
Czar?
Maybe we should have one of the park rangers on to answer the question.
That's what someone said. Park rangers versus park authority or something.
Yeah. In other words, say a friend of mine left something for me to find. Here, I have a map to go find it. I wonder if they're like, no, you have to turn that in. Or, if your friend told you where it is, go get it. Like, we're out of it. Because, I don't know. That's a good question, right? The poem is a map.
Someone.
Right?
I know someone. I might know someone. Okay. Okay, so in case a call comes in, we'll grab it, but let's talk about, so if you have the idea of any of that, I'll reach out to whoever. What's the worst I can get is a no, and a lot of people say no to me, so that's fine. I can at least reach out to different, especially emails. I can shoot emails out by the hundreds and say, hey, can you, and that's like the interviews for the documentary right now. I've caught a couple, I think, big fish, but you have to be willing to ask. So I'm willing to ask different rangers and thoughts and things, and maybe even get them to come on. So, but if you think about two searchers in the search community, maybe it's Dale or Dow versus, I don't know, it could just be fun. And the worst I can get is a no.
I look at it as it doesn't even have to be a popular YouTuber or vlog owner. If you want your friend, if you want to debate your friend, I think me and K-Pro are providing a forum for you guys to come on and do it.
Yeah, but the idea on this one at the beginning is people that we know, people that the community would like to come in and watch, discuss, because they're very knowledgeable about the chase. So.
Okay, we'll do that for sure. But I was wondering if you had two people who people don't know, would that be interesting or not? To get their point of view.
Not at the beginning, because we don't know what we don't know, and it could be a.
Okay.
You, that's all you care about.
Oh, sorry. All right, here we got a phone call. K-Pro and Cal. Hello? Can you hear us?
I bet you there's a delay. If you had,
they hung up. Denied.
Vanishing, who is going to take Toby on? I have Toby in on this concept. So you guys come up with the idea. Let's see. Oh, Looking Glass is saying Looking Glass versus K-Pro. I would win. Hey, Looking Glass, bring it on. I don't know what I need to prepare for, but I will try to prepare.
Yeah, it's got to be related to the chase, everybody. It's got to be related.
And everybody knows I'm a cheater, so I'm going to win. So I need to, go ahead.
Don't be a player hater.
That's right. Don't be a player hater. With
Jack versus Cynthia. See, do you see the opportunities?
Yeah, that would be interesting. And it's you have a certain time limit. It's point, counterpoint, rebuttal, and that's it. And then we could have everybody vote on who won, who presented their case more articulately. All right, here we go. Let's see if this one works. K-Pro and Cal. Who do we got? Hello?
Yep, I'm not hearing you.
Oh yeah, we can hear you. So make sure you don't listen through the radio.
Me, all I had to say is...
Yeah, we can hear you.
Forrest Fenn is the only person that knows where that treasure is. And if you find it, who says you have to say where you found it? That's all I had to say. I can't hear you, so I can't have a conversation with you, but I just thought I'd put my 2 cents in. Thank you.
Yeah, and I actually like that. Bye.
Okay, I like it. I like that. What?
And actually, he said that in the Lori Mails. Maybe they don't want to. They want to dodge the tax man. Like he's not going to out them. Yeah, that's true. If I found it, I don't have to tell anybody. I don't even have to tell K-Pro. I don't have to tell nobody. You guys will never know that I found it. Oh, you're in New Mexico. I'm not worried.
Oh, ouch. Now, I wouldn't do that. I would let everybody know. But it's possible that somebody could find it, take it back home, and never tell anybody.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, K-Pro versus Dominic.
Fanny Bones.
You guys are coming up with some good ones.
It'd be funny if Fanny Bones was on. Let's see if they can't hear us. There's a problem. K-Pro Cal, can you hear us? Hello? Mute, unmute. Hello? K-Pro Cal, can you hear us? Hello? Yeah, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Pro Cal.
Oh, see, you got to turn, you have to listen to the phone. You have to turn the computer down. Listen to the phone only.
I cannot hear you.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
You got to listen to the phone.
Oh, wait, I might know why that is. Hang on. I might
know. Muted, Mike?
I might know why. I do know why that is. All right, give me 1 second. Hey, can you hear us now? Sorry about that.
Oh, I can hear you.
That was totally my bad, everybody. All right.
Nice.
Who do we get? Who's on the call? Sorry about that. Who's on the call? Hello?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's
okay.
It's
Violet.
Oh, Violet, how are you? You said you had to leave, and here you are.
I did, and I just came back and noticed that nobody is calling, really, so I thought I would call.
Oh, well, thanks for calling.
It's hard to kind of hear you, though.
Is it hard to hear us right now, or is it okay?
Oh, now it's okay. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Excellent. So what did you think of the clips tonight?
I really like seeing Forrest, seeing his demeanors, seeing him live, and, you know, we can talk about Forrest all day long, but actually seeing the man live, it brings a whole new perspective to the whole chase.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I agree with that. That's why we really would rather show them and then talk about them, because everybody can, you know, how did he say it? Was he looking at K-Pro? Was he looking up to the left? You know, everybody reads into it a different thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. And that's like so many people say, it's not what he says, it's how he says it, the inflection in his voice, all those things. So when we see him, and especially, I hate to say, when I see him laughing and having like, aren't I a maverick? You know, he's just, it's fun. He's a storyteller. He's just fun to watch. So anyway.
He's very entertaining. He's the maverick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no doubt.
And a rascal. That's right.
He is a rascal. Anyway, I just wanted to call in, tell you guys I really appreciate you guys live, and yeah, this was
awesome.
fun.
Well, thanks for calling.
All right,
in,
thanks, Violet.
We'll
we do
see each
appreciate
other
it.
Soon, hopefully you come to a meetup. Right?
World Series of Fenn. Come on out and say hi.
Oh boy, you know, I might have to make that drive one of these days.
Okay, for sure. Well, we hope we see you at some point in 2020.
I don't really like flying. I'm one of those that have a fear of flight, so.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, there is that. That's true. All right. Well, thanks for the call.
Yeah. If I go anywhere, I usually drive. But, you know, you never know.
Okay. Yeah, you never know. That's right. Fembury. Well, not. I don't know if me and K-Pro are going to Fembury or Function this year, but I'm sure we'll do a meetup somewhere. So, what state do you live in? If you want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, Washington State.
Oh, Washington
I
State.
was talking
Okay.
about the Discovery Pass. I'm not sure what other states have as far as Discovery Pass, but here in Washington State, if you want to go to any kind of state park, you have to buy a Discovery Pass, and then you're allowed to go to all the state parks for free. You can park there.
Yeah, we have that here in Vegas. You do have to pay to get into the national federal land. Is it like Red Rock? You got to pay out at Lake Mead. Yeah. And you can get a year-long pass as well, or just pay the one-time fee. So yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I usually do because it usually is more cost efficient for me because I do like to get out a lot. So I just buy the pass so I can get out for the year.
All right. Sounds good.
Nice.
Well, thanks for calling in. Now that I got the microphone fixed, thanks for helping me figure that out.
Yeah, awesome. Have a great night, guys.
All right, you too.
Bye.
We had a super chat.
If I were Portuguese, I'd say obrigado.
Obrigado. Wow, what was that super chat, K-Pro? Do you have it?
It was. I've been following AGK for a while. We have too. We searched Salida pretty heavy twice upstream from the town. Another look forward to checking this late spring. Anyone searching in Montana?
Anyone in Montana? Well, I don't know. Wonder how evenly split everybody in the chat is for what state.
Oh, they're gonna lie if they say, like, most people don't want to give up their search. We tried that on Thor, and people are like, I'm gonna try to skew the results and all that. Okay, last
is
call.
that right?
Last call for
last
tonight.
call. K-Pro and Cal.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, good. How are you? Who we got?
Good. This is Cliff out of Virginia. How are you?
Cliff from Virginia. We're good. How are you?
Pretty good. Hey, I just want to mention a few things. I've been on the chase, not been boots on the ground since I'm so far away, but been watching AGK and you guys for quite some time. And just a few things that I've gathered, and I'm going to give you a few hints, and I'm not going to try and give it all away.
Okay.
But when you pay attention to Fenn and what he has said about kids, okay, kids looking at the book or
give the poem to a child, yeah,
get kids involved or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge clue. Okay, it's very huge. When you put that in context, and I'm gonna give you just a little explanation about what I'm thinking. When an adult looks at a book or reads a book, what does an adult mostly do? Okay, read it. Mm-hmm. What does a child do?
Looks at the
pictures.
Okay, that's all I'm going to tell you.
So you're a big illustration guy. You're looking at the illustrations for those hints and clues.
I'm reading the book as well, but he said that for a reason. Okay,
that is interesting because it just made me think of his redneck. What did he say? I hope a redneck from Texas with 12 kids finds the treasure.
Yeah.
So okay.
He said, but he also said something about the little girl in India and kids looking at books. I don't remember the exact phrases or words he used, but I'm telling you, that's a very big clue. Okay. And then as far as the videos, you guys watching his videos and his demeanor and his actions and this and that, there's an older video that was put out in 2017.
Okay.
And it was two guys that did an interview with him that a lot of people haven't watched that video. I found it by mistake because I've been watching every video, every YouTube, everything I can find.
Okay.
If you want to see demeanor and his actions and you want to watch him choke up when they ask him certain questions and watch his face, you could see it in his face. And when he stutters, he chokes, and his face turns red when he asks him the questions. I'm not going to tell you the video. I'll give you the year. It was 2017.
You're not going to send me the link to the video?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
But it's out there on YouTube for everybody to find?
Yes, sir. It was published in 2017. That's what I'll give you. And then the last thing I have is the Blaze. Okay? I've never been boots on the ground. I've done everything, off my chair and off the book and off of what I've seen. But the kids thing and the Blaze go together, and I'll tell you that the Blaze is white, exactly white for sure.
Okay. Now, why do you think that? Or can you say?
Because of the facts, the things I just gave you. if you pay attention to,
'Cause there's kids
without
involved.
giving it away,
Like, come on, Mike.
All right. Go ahead.
if you pay attention to illustrations and read the book and put it together and put yourself in a kid's frame of mind, like he talks about all the time, that he's a grown man, but he's still, his mind, is back as a child or whatever, however you want to say it. So I think I'm not a, like AGK, a rooster or whatever like that. I'm not saying I'm going to get it. And I have no idea where the hell it's at, but
Okay.
I think I have the blaze. I think I have 1 and 2, clue 1 and 2, and I think I have the blaze, but I'm still trying to piece the rest of it.
So you think when the poem says, if you've been wise and found the blaze, you're supposed to determine what the blaze is before you go look for it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
and I've heard that theory. Okay.
The blaze is legitimately there, and the blaze is legitimately in the wood. I can't give you more. I wish I could, because I'd give it away if I tell you,
Oh, but let me ask you a question. If you have the blaze and you're just supposed to look quickly down, you say that you have 1 and 2, and then you've jumped to 9. So let me ask, is your blaze clue 9?
I don't know if it's exactly clue 9. I guess it is. But what I'm saying is that the blaze I have is clearly in black and white. I'll just put it to you that way. It's clearly in black and white. An adult really won't see it, but a child, my son picked it out. My son found it.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. That's why I'm telling you that. And he was like, Dad, look. And he was like, this looks like an arrow. And I was like, what? And that's what I'm telling you. It's an arrow. And the arrow points directly down. And it's in black and white. That's the best I can tell you without giving it all away. Because if I tell you the rest, there's going to be millions of people, trying to figure out.
They'll leave it now. They'd leave now if you told us any more, because it is. You've already given away so much. Cliff, you have not given away too much.
The heavy loads in water high. The no paddle up your creek. I think he hit it in August or September. Okay. The no paddle up your creek is the rivers, or not the rivers, the creeks coming down off the mountains in the summers are usually dry, okay? That's no paddle up your creek. You're going up a creek bed, but it's dry. That's that. And heavy loads in water high. Heavy loads is the chest weight. He went 2 times. That's the heavy loads. Water high is a lake, okay? It's not a waterfall. It's a lake up high in elevation. So when are you
going to pick it up?
You going this summer for Boots on the Ground, your first one?
I wish I could. I can't fly anymore. I'm too damn chicken to get on the daggone airplane anymore with what's happening these days.
What state do you live in, if you want to say?
I just retired. I'm 50, and a friend of mine's moving back to Iowa in March. So him and I are thinking I'm going to come his way, pick him up, and then come out. Maybe this year, maybe next. I don't know. But that's just a little thing for me. I've been silent and watching you guys for a long time, and AGK too. I don't call in. I've called AGK once, mentioned a few things. I chat every now and then. But that's just what I think is what I've noticed, and I feel pretty strong about it.
Yeah, well, they already gave it. You gave it away. Somebody said the arrow on page 99. How old is your son when he pointed this out to you?
He was 8. What's
Okay.
Page 99. I don't have my book. What's on page 99?
It's the famous page 99.
My War for Me. The bombs and the a lot of people think it's a map.
It is.
Okay, well, it sounds like a lot of people have thought that.
You got your book open, Mike?
I could grab it, unless
if you could go to that page.
You got it.
That's
Yeah,
page
Christy's
99.
got it.
I don't have mine.
Page 99.
I'm gonna give you another big hint. Look at the picture.
Look at the picture on page 99, K-Pro.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're looking at it right now.
You see the edge where it looks like there's a jungle in the water there on the right?
Right, yep.
You see the edge where the water line is there?
Uh-huh.
It looks like the edge of a lake, possibly.
No, I think he means the other side. Yes, I see it. Yeah.
The right side, yeah. If you look at it, it looks like the edge of a water line. You see the jungle there, and it looks like a trumpet or whatever in the jungle. Look in the water right there and look at the grid. You might have to take a magnifying glass, but look at the grid in the water, directly in the water.
Is that what you think the blaze is?
And you tell me if that's not a grid of a map of counties or.
Oh, I got
or
what you
a
mean.
grid
Those
of-
squares. Yeah, it definitely could look that way. Yeah, I see that. I see 1, 2,
and
3,
you see
4,
that
5
in
different
water?
squares.
And you notice how a couple of those square grids are shaded different colors?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's a map, buddy.
Okay, a lot of people I think are with you on that one. Tasty Pizza King says everyone knows this already. Well, I don't know if everybody knows that part, but a lot of people think that picture is important. That's for sure.
Oh, Craig Carter says it's not a lake, it's farming squares.
That's important because Fenn said it. That's the only picture in the whole thing that he had drawn. It wasn't published like by a publisher. It was drawn
It says
by a guy.
JF. Yeah, a lot of people are wondering what JF means. Yeah, we hear you.
And the two bombs, the X marks the spot. How many times have you heard them say that? Look at the tail wings on the bombs. Have you ever seen a
Right.
bomb with an X on it like that?
Right, I hear you. I got you.
Okay. All right.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
All right, I'm laying it down. I just let you got to fill in the clue.
All right, hey, we thank you for the call. Thanks for calling
Thanks
in.
for calling, Cliff.
All right, brother.
All right.
You think you're too cool for school, but I got a news flash for you, Walter Cronkite.
Turn off the.
You aren't.
All right, no more calls. Oh, we did have a voicemail, but we'll get to it next time. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know what to say.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting to hear different ideas, but when you say, I'm not a rooster, but let me give you all a hint on how to do this,
yeah.
I just think that's funny. And when they say something like, okay, this might break it loose, but I'm going to say it anyway, it's white. And it's like, that's not, it's not a nothing burger, but it's huge. But anyway, okay, so let's talk now. Can you bring up the World Series of Fenn?
All right, here's what somebody did call in.
You are rude, you are lying. Don't be phony to your listeners, because otherwise they won't listen to you anymore.
Okay, I guess that's fair. All right. May have been a phone call, maybe not. All right, I'm looking it up. Oh, that ain't it. Hang on, everybody. I'm bringing up the World Series of Fenn. We got some new info you're going to want to know. Hang on.
Breaking news.
Breaking news for the World Series of Fenn, actually.
Yeah,
okay,
it's breaking
here we
news
go.
for the World Series of Fenn. You should all know Cynthia Meacham's coming, and she has the super secret hint she's going to give to only everyone at the World Series of Fenn.
Do we know if Toby's coming or not?
We do. Toby is coming.
Toby's going to be there. Cynthia's going to be there.
the
Copper
house.
Dan's going to be there. What? I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. We've got 40 other searchers that are going to be there. How can you not go, everybody? This is going to be the event of the year.
Yeah, so we're making up some programs. So here's what we got going on. So on Friday, we decided to add a dinner because there is a lot of people that are in town by that point.
Yep.
Down at the bottom level, right outside of Bailey's or Bally's, there is the Grand Bazaar restaurants. There's a set of restaurants. Mark Wahlberg has a burger place.
Wahlburgers, yeah. I've never been to it.
I haven't either. And there's a taco place. There's a pizza place.
Giordano's. So I think Giordano's would make sense because it's in the middle. It's open. I mean, we could all just order some pizzas, get some drinks. They have a bar. So I think that would be a cool meeting place. But, yeah. There's options is what she's trying to say. There's options.
Yep.
We got a super
and
chat.
We want to leave people with options.
Copper Dan with the super chat. Thanks, Dan. It says, I predict Copper Dan will take K-Pro out of the World Series of Fenn. So everybody knows, here's some more. Some more breaking news. For those of you who are going to be at the World Series of Fenn, I'm putting a bounty on K-Pro. And what that means is if you knock her out of the tournament, you're going to get something from me that I will give to you. I'm not going to announce what it is until before the World Series of Fenn. But I'm putting a bounty on K-Pro. So if you knock her out, I don't know what it'll be yet. I'm trying to think of something cool.
And you know what's amazing is Mike decided to tell me this beforehand. So I appreciate what you're saying because when you tell me something beforehand, I won't be knocked off. Yeah, no, bring it.
All
and you know what? Hey, so there you have it. I know. Well, I have an idea.
Uh-oh.
I'm fine. I'm not as good of a poker player as Mike. So if you knock me out, it's not as big of a thing. So
now you can always rebuy. I'm only talking about the first time you get knocked out. Then rebuy, and then that'll be over with. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway.
Okay. That's my boyfriend. Yeah. Okay. On Valentine's Day. Great. Okay. So 5:30, we're going to do dinner. And then we're going to head down to Fremont Street. If you don't know Fremont Street is kind of the wild and crazy place that there's lots of entertainment down there. We're not going to be down there all night. There's a lot of people are like, let's go party. You guys know me. I'll be in bed by 9.
Yeah, right.
Take it easy.
We'll be at Fremont having fun.
Yeah, we'll be at Fremont for a few hours. We are thinking of all Ubering down. If anybody else wants to drive, they can.
I might be drinking. We may have to take a cab or an Uber down
Mike's going to be drinking. This is going to be fun.
I think we should go up to random people and just ask them where Warm Waters halt. I'm gonna try and record everything, guys. So one thing I messed up on last year is I really didn't have a video from the World Series of Fenn. We were too busy doing everything. This year I'm going to take a lot of video, and after it's all done and I get back to the command center, I'll edit it, and there will be a vlog of the World Series of Fenn, similar to the one when I went to Santa Fe for the Jamie Jordan drawing.
Yes.
So me and K-Pro will be taking a lot of video. And there will be, we'll have a vlog on it.
I think we need to go live more.
Yeah, we'll try and go live too. Sasha did it last year when she did it, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It's just we were so busy doing stuff, we didn't have time. It seemed
I thought it was great, and she walked around, talked with everybody, got connected with people, and it was fun.
Right.
I will say that we need to work with the security team to make sure it's okay. We don't want to get into trouble since we want to do.
Well, down on Fremont Street, I want to go live. I just don't know how the Wi-Fi or my camera, which I guess I should get down there and do a test beforehand. Go live and say, hey, everybody, is this blurry? Can you see it? But we will have video from World Series of Fenn is what I was trying to get at. Okay, go back to the flyer. That's Friday night, Fremont Street.
Yeah, see, and Cynthia's in the room talking about page 99. Cynthia, party. You're going to a party. Okay, so that's going to be the night before, which is Friday. So I'll go over that at the end. So then Saturday, we're going to be doing lunch, and it's just going to be down at the food court. They have like 7 or 8 different options. We can sit informally, chit chat, but the food court has anywhere from fast food to, they have some decent casual food.
And I'm going to call it the hangover lunch because that's probably what it'll be. So
sounds like Mike's gearing up.
And the other thing is everybody wants to know what the weather is.
Our forecast calls for flurries of passion, followed by extended periods of getting it on.
Okay, so that's for the World Series of Fenn. Valentine's Day weekend, everybody.
Oh, there's my boyfriend, everybody. Okay, so then we go on to 3 o'clock. We have to be down at the escape room, so we're going to actually meet up just before that, probably 2:30.
And we will tell everybody where that is. We actually do in a different place.
And we have a little bit more info on that.
Yeah.
Yes, Copper Dan, you did not send me a picture, and you will see there's some question marks on things, but I'll show that in a minute. Mike's stop.
Why?
Then we will go back, please.
Okay.
And then at 7 o'clock is the World Series of Fenn. Those are the only formal things. I'll talk about some other things that are going to be happening, but now you can go to the next.
And everybody, the tournament starts at 7 p.m. You need to get down to the poker room at Bally's at 6:30 at the latest, more like 6 o'clock to get bought in and to get ready. And then we'll be down there by 6 o'clock.
The next page is when you have to actually get there.
Yeah, here we go.
Okay, so we decided on Escapology. If you guys were there last year, during Escapology,
William, we are not doing Femboree. Jamie is doing the Femboree, and she'll do a good job like she did last year.
Doing and going are going to be 2 different things. Are we organizing? We are going to help support Jamie. We are not organizing. Jamie's the woman. But we are going to help in any way we can, get information out, etc. And there's some announcements coming up. Jamie's working really hard, so we're excited for her. People are already starting to throw hate at her, and I just got into it with somebody on Facebook of, why did she pick that day, and that's not okay. She did just blah, blah, blah. Just ignore it. That's the new motto for 2020. Just ignore it. Okay, so last year, if you remember the escape rooms, we had 2 men's rooms and a women's room, and the women, of course, took it. But the guys were saying, well, our room was harder than your room. That's right.
It was.
Wow. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That is where we have decided we have found an escape room that has 2 things. They have dual rooms. So it's the same
identical rooms. Yep.
Yeah, and now if we get too many and we have to break to a 3rd room, the 3rd room is going to be different because we're hoping to have a little prize. We don't know what we can do because we don't know how many people, but we're hoping to do something. But they'll at least be pride points. So here is the room that we thought sounded fun, especially for a bunch of treasure hunters going to Vegas. So you're in a Las Vegas hotel room, and it is present day. This is called the Vegas Hangover. This is for you, William. Look who...
What?
Look who's come to. That doesn't make sense.
Look who's come to, meaning you wake up.
Oh,
do you need me to read that, honey?
Yeah, because it's way
Do we
over
need
there.
to read the whole thing?
No.
Anyway, this is the description of the escape room. What it is you wake up in a Las Vegas hotel room. You don't remember how you got there. But one thing you do remember is you have lost your wedding rings because you're there for a wedding. I hid, and then what about the part where you spilled the beans that you were holding your best friend's wedding rings for him? When you ran out of cash, you made a deal with me, and you were so wasted, I convinced you to put the rings up as collateral. So now I have your rings because I don't lose ever. But I'll give you one chance to get your friend's rings back. I hid them away somewhere in this very penthouse. I'll give you 1 hour to find them. I'm not a heartless monster, but who is a heartless monster is my husband. His name's Tommy the Steel Pipe Franklin, and he's the owner of the casino you were in last night, and a downright rotten criminal. If my husband finds you here, well, take a guess what'll happen to you. Not only will your best friend wonder where his rings are, he'll wonder where you are forever. So that's the gist of the escape room. You've got an hour to find the rings and get out. Think of the movie The Hangover. You wake up in a hotel room, you don't know where you're at. Sounds like it'll be fun. We're going to have 2 groups of people. How many do we have RSVP'd for it currently?
And that's the hard part. We right now have 16 people. If you think you are wanting to do the escape room, let me know, because we'll always have 1 or 2 drop and 1 or 2 come, but I want to see if there's going to be more than 16. If there is, that's going to be a problem, and we're going to have to figure out a 3rd room.
The escape room,
which is a great problem to have.
Yeah. 2 groups of 8 currently is what we're going to do with the same room. Currently, the price is $40. It's $40 to do this escape room. There are discount codes online. Somebody already sent one to us. So the day of, if you have a discount code, you can use it. You get a discount. So, yeah. I put the deposit down to hold both escape rooms for us. So it'll be a lot of fun. From the food court, we'll all kind of see who's going to drive and how we're going to do that logistically. How do we get everybody over there? But we'll figure it out.
Yes.
What are you laughing? What are you laughing at?
The room is being naughty. You started it with the soundboard.
Hey, the soundboard's awesome. You guys know it.
Okay, bring up the program, please.
The soundboard? Oh.
The program, please. Right. No more soundboard, for God's sake.
All right, here we go. Look at all those prizes.
Okay, so when you look at the poker tournament starts at 7, but you need to check in at 6:30. Bailey's holds the tournament. That's the one really important thing to keep in mind. So anything related to, some people are asking, how much money do we take at the 65? This is an event that only costs us thousands of dollars. It does not, we don't make any money off of this. We're going to be selling some items, but we don't make what's called a rake, where that 65 part of it goes to the casino. The casino deals with all of that. They will put up what the prize money is. If you have any issues, they love talking about it. You should go and complain to them. So the buy-in 65, and it's going to depend on how many people, how many buy-ins, all of that. Do you remember how much first prize was last year?
First place was about $900, and I think we're going to have more people this year. It depends how many people rebuy, because all of that money, a percentage goes to the casino, but the majority of it goes to the prize pool. So as you're playing, you will see what the prize pool is after nobody can be rebuy, which I think it's the first 2 hours actually. I think it's more
I
than the
wanted to
first
say
hour.
first 7, and that's 15 minutes. So it's like 80 minutes. So
there's a tournament clock. You guys will know. You guys will know the rules. You guys will know how it works. If anybody doesn't understand poker, just when we get together at the food court, I can go over it with people. It's not going to be that hard. Yeah. It'll be fun. Just have fun.
And then the tournament last year was about 4 hours. So it started at 7. We were out there by midnight.
About 11. Yeah.
Yeah, 11, between 11 and 12. So some people have been asking about prizes. We will not know all the prizes until some people are bringing we have some things being sent to us, etc. So will there be a Chaseopoly? I'm sure there's going to be a Chaseopoly.
Oh, we're giving a Chaseopoly, of course.
Oh, shit, it's so bizarre.
It's to be determined. That's right.
Yes, it's to be determined. So would there be a searcher coin there? There's probably going to be a searcher coin there. Is there going to be a TTOTC?
There might be a numbered searcher coin there, but you didn't hear that here. You don't know what's going to be there. It's crazy.
I'm never telling you my WWWH. You're killing me. We've already been, and we have a couple of items as well, but those are the gold decks that we saw from last time. A bracelet. It says WSOF. That looks just so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Maybe there'll be some 3D boxes. You'll see.
We'll see. You never know.
Map. There's potentials. What we're going to do is I need to have them by Friday evening. And if by Saturday morning, we're going to have to let everybody know these are the items, because I need to have it ready for the tournament. Oh, we got a super chat.
Super chat.
If I were Hebrew, I'd say
Togarata. Thank you, Chad Bird. This is for Jack Jack. Who is the lead searcher, Jack Jack? This is our 3rd year searching. Can the lead searcher please tell us why not to look in Montana? Interesting.
Oh, they're super chatting to talk amongst
to
each other.
talking smack to each other.
I love it. And Tasty Pizza, I don't leak stuff. Mike leaks stuff. Mike's the leaker.
I said maybe. Everything I leak, I say maybe at the end, which means maybe it is and maybe it isn't.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. Forrest says, I think this is how I remember it, or I think this is right, and then he gets to be able to...
K-Pro, you're supposed to say...
I wish you could just shut your big yapper.
Yeah, to me, you're supposed to say that. So, okay.
I'm way too sweet to do that.
Mike makes you leak things. All right, I'm not going there. Anyway,
Are you drinking tonight, my friend?
I've never seen anyone so whipped so fast.
Okay, so there'll be a lot of prizes. Now, some people may think, well, how do you get those prizes? I want a prize. You have to play in the World Series of Poker. You have to play in the poker tournament. And the casino handles the money that they pay out, but we give prizes. What'll happen is whoever comes in first place gets their pick of all the prizes. Whoever comes in second place gets a second pick. Maybe. Unless K-Pro decides to change it all. And that's how we did it last year. And then until the very last item, that person. And we'll go right down the row as far as how you place in the tournament with, who gets to pick which prize. What?
You keep telling me, documentary, I don't want to micromanage it, so just do whatever you need and keep me updated. Then I see clips and craziness. Then you said World Series of Fenn, just you handle the details. And now you're saying stuff that's totally wrong.
We're not doing it that way with the prizes?
Do you want the detail?
That's my opinion, everybody.
Yeah, his opinion, and he's not organizing this part.
I feel like I bought a ticket to a train wreck.
That's not right. All right. Anyway.
Okay. So I don't know where's that. So it's a blast. It's fun. If you are coming, I'm looking in Reddit posts, Thor posts, Harry's posts, and Facebook posts, and bunch of people are like, "Oh, I'm going. Oh, I'm going." And I keep asking, have you RSVP'd? And people are like, oh, I didn't know I needed to. I don't need anything formal.
Oh, sorry about that. Go ahead.
I don't need anything formal like your first and last name and firstborn child and social security number. I just need your handle because we're just trying to get a ballpark. We'd like to get a little item for everybody like we did last year. Nothing big. I want to get a certain number of programs. Nothing here, but it helps us plan. Right now we have almost 40 RSVP'd. Last year we had 35 play and 54 show up. So it looks like, I think it'll be maybe a little bit bigger because we're
never know.
Please RSVP with me. Please, please, please. kpro3@aol.com or any of the other, you can messenger me, whatever. If you want to bring a prize, some people have asked, can they put some prizes in the prize pool? Absolutely. Bring them, ship them. I will talk all that detail. We don't need to talk about that here.
Redneck Express says Davio, he will carpool and you guys can drive out here to the World Series of Fenn. I put it out there in case. Oh yeah, Davio's in chat. Davio read it. I'll let you two handle that.
Oh,
that would be awesome if Davio is here. If Redneck Express is here.
I'm not either of that. I feel like I met Davio, but Redneck Express.
Have a lot of
I've
fun.
seen him around years and years. So that's awesome. So Jack, we need to get a rooster on the soundboard. He was too into getting all these ridiculous.
Okay. I haven't even played the bad ones yet. All right.
Okay, hold on. K-Pro Cow have the #1 FF channel for YouTube. Oh, big things. Well, we're just
hey, thanks,
fun.
Copper Dan.
I don't need to say #1.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Copper Dan is bringing his coin 3, and we're having some sort of showdown.
Is it a last longer bet? Or we haven't decided.
We've got to work it out. He's been stalking me for my 3.
If you do the last longer bet, I will hold the coins and I will be the judge to make sure it's clear. It's only if you two do it. You have to both agree.
Well, but here's the thing: if you have a bounty on me, that's going to change my game, and we're talking about $1,000 coin.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
I've got to think through this. Obviously, somebody's not thinking about us here.
If you do a last longer bet, then I will not do a bounty on K-Pro because you're right, that does change things. So, yeah. But when you guys get together, Friday there, Dan, we'll talk about it. K-Pro's bringing the coin, so we'll figure it out.
And Rodney, can one of you do a get-together in Texas? I'm just going to say one word. March.
Oh, really? Is that right? Wow. All right, everybody. You heard it here first. But I will say, I really think there's a majority of searchers from Texas. The state we sold the most Chaseopolis to was, in fact, Texas. So there's definitely some people. But Texas is so big, it's huge. But anyway.
Okay, so Miss Lisa said, heads up, one hand for both coins.
Oh, wow. Well, all right, never mind. I would almost say a heads up matchup in the room, but that would take too much time. So, yeah, you can't do
Yeah.
that. We'll
Yeah,
figure it
there's a
out,
lot-
Dan. And I'm going to record it, whatever you guys do. We got to show everybody
That coin
what
is
went
coming.
down.
That coin's coming home, baby. That's all I have to say. I need to find mine. I don't know where
To
mine
have a
went.
set would be pretty awesome, especially number
Yeah.
3. Are you kidding me?
Number
Okay.
3.
Everything's bigger in Texas. That's right. Um,
Yeah, no, and I know a lot of Texas searchers, and I happen to be traveling, and so March.
Chad Bird says I was just in Vegas for New Year's Eve. Oh, that's awesome. New Year's Eve was pretty crazy. All my exes are from Texas. 3D bronze. Tasty Pizza King. I like Toby and Shelly, but Mike and K-Pro have more informative content. You know,
I think
that's
it ebbs and flows.
Yeah,
we get attacked on the other end for not putting out enough content, and Toby's my search dad.
that's
and
subjective,
so-
but thank you.
Yeah, I
Covert
think
One just stuck his head up and said Texas meetup. What? So you need to let him know if there is one.
Greg Carter said, D-Pro sold me your coin number 3, K-Pro.
Ah, that's funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, I do need to go through and make, this place is a mess. I've been going through, I have a coin collection.
Copper
I've been
Dan
going
says you
through.
better not cry when I win, K-Pro. Wow. He's
You know what?
trash talking.
I've had enough bad poker beats where I've played 4 hours and then get knocked out by my boyfriend on a bluff right off the money. It'll be all good because, we're all good people. And that's one thing that I will say. As much drama that happens in this chase, especially this last week, we just put it all aside when we go to these meetups. The meetups are so much fun. Is there going to be an after party? Bring that program back up.
Why don't you go tell your mom to shut up?
I don't know why that was played. I don't know. That wasn't directed
We
at
don't
Dan.
talk about
I don't know.
mamas.
Yeah, I don't know
talk
why that
about
was there.
mamas.
All right.
Go back to the front page. So things that are missing from here.
Here? Yeah.
Is there going to be a Saturday night after party? There's going to be an after party.
Oh, of
I don't
course.
know what it looks like. I don't know what's
yeah.
happening yet, but we're going to figure that piece out. The other thing someone asked, are we meeting up on Sunday morning? This part of we is not. I think last year's party, Mike kicked everybody out.
I took you to the airport, and then Dan and Nelica were still there, and they said, "Hey," so I went back to the casino. I'm like, "Okay, I'll hang out," because you had to go to the airport.
No, do you remember this is before we came out as a couple?
Yeah.
A couple people knew, and thank you for keeping our things on the deck. And Mike's like, "Okay, everybody, let's all leave," and it was like what 3:30.
3:30 in the morning. I'm like, "That's it, everybody out," because there was a suite that we were hanging out in.
And Mike took everybody downstairs.
So I have to go down the elevator. All right, everybody, I'm walking to my car, and then I turn around and I go back upstairs because back then it was a secret. So
yeah. Oh, and you see why?
Jeez, I've never seen anyone so whipped so fast.
Yeah, all right. But yeah, there's none of that this time around. I will kick everybody out, but I'm not leaving. So there you go. Right?
You know what? With all the orneriness you have right now, Copper Dan might have a couch in his room. I don't know.
What? Oh, all right. I hear Dan's throwing a big party.
Copper Dan knew, Nelica knew. There was like 2, Yeah, this is like 7th grade all over again.
A lot of Di Serono going on in that room. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there was some fun. Yeah, so there was, I had a big suite, and I will apologize to some. I don't think, the reason that the weekend that we usually have it on, we couldn't have it on is because of a work commitment that I had. So we moved it to Valentine's Day weekend thinking people will bring their spouses. Well, here's the problem. Rooms are like 4 times as much as they were last year. So we apologize up front, or I apologize up front. Work had to come first, and I had to get, lots of coverage of child care, animal care, all of that. It's super more expensive, which just sucks. So we're not going to have the big room that we used to have. And, do we want everybody like, oh, we'll just come up to a bedroom? No, let's not go there.
We'll figure out. After the tournament is over, then we'll actually determine what we're doing after the tournament. But me and Gabriel have to stay there to give out the prizes. So, and we want to watch. I mean, it's fun. It's fun once you're out just to watch. Stay on the rail. You get free drinks, everybody. If you didn't know this, while you're in this tournament, you get free drinks from the casino. But also that Sunday when you went back is when I met Czar for the first time. A little guy named Czar came walking by and said, "Hey, are you Cowlazars?" So that was pretty awesome. So I'm glad I met Czar. He helped me with Chaseopoly. He's helped me out a lot over the past year. So, yeah, it was good to meet you, Czar. Now he'll be in the tournament. So everybody can put a face to the name of Czar that's always in the chat room.
Yeah, and Czar's super nice and super fun, and it's awesome.
Holiday Inn right around the corner.
Yeah, so everybody's staying somewhere a little
Oh, yeah, there is a Holiday Inn right up here on Flamingo. That's true. Yeah, there is one right there.
So that is the information on World Series of Fenn. We will keep everybody updated, but there's going to be a little bit of downtime. There's going to be some times that I actually have to break loose and do a couple of other things between documentary and some work commitments that I'm working on as well. So I'm actually going to be working some during that time. If you want to meet up with Mike and I, we're going to do some just informal meetups, and we're trying to figure out what's the best way. We have an email that we can shoot everybody, but what's the best way to get communication out quickly, to be continued. We have a YouTube channel, so we might do it that way of like, hey guys, this is the little pub we're going to be at, and meet
Yeah, and we hope we have an email list of everybody that's going to be there, which we won't share with anybody, but we could send an email that says, hey, everybody, we're going to be here at this time. So, you have to let us know you're coming, though, in order for that to work. So
Yeah.
We'll
I actually
see.
said if you don't RSVP, you can't get the prizes from the poker tournament. But Mike was the nice guy, and he thought that would be too rough, and we're just, blah, 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 blah. And so he was the nicer person. So, yeah. So there you have it. There it is.
All I can say on the soundboard is,
Don't be a player hater.
oh, it cut off.
Don't be a player hater.
There you go. Okay. So more and more of these are going to come. You guys should send me the drops that you want me to play.
Oh my gosh, Copper Dan, I need to screenshot this and send it to Princess.
What?
He's getting a stripper.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice. Yes. Is
Oh
that
my
right,
God.
Dan? All right, we'll talk. Because the girls are having a night out, apparently.
Oh!
What?
No, I got it. Ha ha, he retracted it. I got it.
Nice. Guess who's not coming to the World Series of Fenn now?
Guess who's bringing coin 3?
You've had enough. Give me that. You have had enough soda today. Don't start fighting with me.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay, I've already gotten 5 emails, and Richard's asking where in Texas is the meetup.
Yeah,
Hold
you
on,
did.
guys.
Yeah, that's all you on that one.
No,
I won't be there, everybody. That's K-Pro.
I've already made, I've not made yet the arrangements of when I'm coming in. I know I'm coming in one of the weekends in March. Actually, I'm meeting some family. And so I know that's happening. And so all I can say is I was going to do a 2 or 3 hour meetup during that time. But I'm working on World Series. I will get the date out and at least the city that I'll be in at that time. So, but
That'll be awesome.
guys, I don't know the dates yet. But I know there's a lot of Texas people, and there's a few people, and there's a few reasons I want to get out that information too. So if we're done with World Series of Fenn, I had one other thing.
I will just say regarding the World Series of Fenn, we had talked about doing Chaseopoly tournaments, but it's just too much time. It's just too much time. You know how Chaseopoly is, that game. Chaseopoly will be available if anybody wants to play. I was thinking in the food court, maybe we do something. So the Chaseopoly will be around, but we're not going to have an official tournament type thing. It just takes too much time. So, okay, go ahead.
So the last thing is I have several people very interested in the collection that I got, now it's been a few months when we went to Detroit. I am working on a video right now to put as many pieces together of what it was. I am considering selling it. And so if you are interested, you can email me. I'm either going to be selling pieces or parts or the whole thing. I haven't decided yet, but a lot of people want to see all the detail. That's what I've been working on.
Can I say the thing that I have that I don't think we ever told anybody was part of it?
No.
Why? Why not?
Because I said.
It was just for you, baby.
All right. Okay. All right.
You're
You're going to make a video on it, right? To show everybody it's part of it. Okay.
I won't have all the detail of every single thing. I'm going to show everything and put as much detail as I can and how it's personalized and things. So,
do K-Pro and Cow do these live shows on a regular basis? Yes, we do, actually. I'm glad you asked. We go live every Monday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific. We go live on the Hint of Riches. We also go live on the Cowlazars channel. So we invite you guys to subscribe to the channel, and you'll know when we go live, because we just go live when we feel like it sometimes. And for that weekend of the World Series of Fenn, you really want to be subscribed, because we're probably going to go live a couple different times throughout the weekend.
Well, we try to limit to an hour. Things are a little wild and crazy in the off season, so we've gone over 2. And then usually every about 2 months we do a marathon, and I'm just going to say marathon in March. It's going to be Marathon March. It's going to be Meetup March. March is going to be a big month.
March Madness, NCAA.
Okay.
Super Bowl's coming up, everybody. Who's got those prop bets? I got to check the Westgate this week and get the prop bets.
You know what? My kids had such a fun time with prop bets. We made posters for each one and crazy stuff like no points in the first quarter. That was the craziest. We won that one.
Any quarter, a scoreless quarter, which there was one, and me and K-Pro hit that. That was pretty good odds. So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right, Czar. That's true. Oh, and then Czar, if you were going to do those tickets you had mentioned, we'll talk about that though in February. It'd be cool.
See, do you see Czar? Do you see Czar?
I just bringing it up. If you can get them, if you can't, no big deal. That's all.
Yeah, I agree with you, Czar. That's yeah. Okay, so yeah, I agree. Actually, Sassy, you should hook up with somebody that's really into sports betting, because all I do is call Mike, and some people get mad at me on Facebook where I was like, "Go Packers," and they're like, "I can't believe you did it," and I'm like, "Oh no, all I know is it's the green team, and Mike told me he has money on it. That's who I root for. It's all about the money for me." So the good part about this will be the second Super Bowl. Last Super Bowl, you told me who to root for, but I don't like the over. We'll do some prop bets,
a good bet. Yeah. Prop bets are the way to go for the Super Bowl.
I need to know who to root for, because
we're
going to do face painting and all of that.
I think we should bet on the coin toss, heads or tails. You want to do it? Let's do a whole bunch, and then we can actually show everybody the bets, and it'll be fun. They can all watch and go, did they win or did they lose?
Well, I just want a team to root for, because that's what I'll know how to dress, what colors.
Kansas City or 49ers.
Do we know who's in the Super Bowl?
The Kansas City Chiefs, who you're going to vote for, and the San Francisco 49ers. Do we know who's in the Super Bowl?
Oh no! See,
Go ahead. Oh no, what?
I lived in Northern California for 10 years, and San Francisco was my team. And I lived in Kansas, and Kansas City, it was only because of my job. I had to root for a team, and so I would root for a team that. Anyway, okay.
True Believer says take the over. I think it's at 52 right now. They are some high-scoring teams. They do have a lot of offense, don't they? So, and San Francisco to win, it's only like -1. It's a pretty even game. So, I want to look at the prop bets for sure.
Okay, well, we have two teams that I actually know that they're football teams. How do you like that?
Lori James says 49ers will slaughter the Chiefs. You heard it here first.
Slaughter.
49ers will slaughter the Chiefs. All right. I got to study it on this
That's
one.
way more sports than I need for the whole year, for goodness sakes.
All right.
Okay,
let's wrap it up.
World Series of Fenn, if you have ideas for Clash of the Titans, two people that you want to see go toe-to-toe and name the topic, I would love to see. Email, in chat. Try to put it, though, in the comment section, because going through the chat, it's been 2.5 hours tonight, or 2 hours and 15 minutes tonight. So know that there's going to be a marathon. Marathon in March, and possibly, but really firming up.
We're not confirming a marathon in March. We'll see.
Okay.
You know what I mean. We'll see.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I'm sure we will.
I'll let Mike know. So, okay. Any other questions? Anybody? Anything else? And Texas Tech QB, now KC to win.
Mahomes.
Wow. That's like Chinese to me, but I think that's something to do with the game. I think
Jimmy G can't throw, so I'm going for Mahomes. Yeah, I would probably lean toward Kansas City, but again, I got to look at it. So.
Okay, well, I'll know who.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
See, I like, what is it, Virginia, man? I'm voting for the blue team. That's me. Just give me the color of the team to root for, and I'll be like, yeah, go blue. And I'll have a T-shirt, and I'll put their little emblem on my face. I like
you. That's all you care about.
Yeah, right on.
Okay. And before we sign off, I'll probably play the worst drop that I found. Let's do it. Does anybody want it?
No, they all said no. They said, would you please stop?
All right.
That's what they said.
She said it came out so compact that it looked like a V8 can that was followed by what she referred to as 2 minutes of hot dog water.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. All right.
Michael?
Yeah.
You're officially in trouble.
Okay. All right, everybody. On that note, Sassy says no. On that note, all right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. I know we went long, 2 hours and 20 minutes.
It's like Forrest says, you never really grow beyond 13 when you're a man.
That's right. My mind stays at about 13, everybody.
Dear Lord.
Too much fun.
Dan loves that. And see, I'm with that.
Hey, we're going to have a vote. Good luck in Vegas, Chad Bird. Thanks for the super chat, Chad. We appreciate it. We hope to see you there.
I want to know how many people are going to try to take me out. I might be able to maneuver this in a very significant way, because you know how people are going to want to go all in and knock me out. if there's a bounty on my head.
Yeah, well, then I won't. I mean, yeah, you're right. That could be.
Let's bring it. You're buying me in.
Well, a bunch of us will do a last longer bet like we did last time. So, yeah. But if you and Dan do the last longer, then, yeah, we'll have to think about that. We'll get together and talk about it.
Yeah, but here's the thing to remember, guys. The poker tournament is 4 hours. Most people come in for 2 or 3 days. I can tell you, make sure you're a part of everything, or at least a lot of the things. And if you just want to sit in the corner and watch, I want to say AJ. Oh, and AJ's not coming. He checked flights, and they were so expensive.
AJ, he can't make it, huh? Oh, that's good.
But here's the crazy part. He was the quiet guy in the corner kind of watching because he's not as much into Forrest Fenn as he is to all treasure hunts.
Right.
And then here he comes walking in a cow costume.
And shows his Jenny gold medallion. Boom, remember? Which somebody
and then tells
has.
me it's absolutely not for sale. And then it was in Copperdan's hand within it was crazy.
There could be some coins trading hands again this year. You never know. Yeah, I will say, what I think you and Dan should do for last longer is just play one of the other tournaments. That way, nobody's trying to knock you out. It's just you two. I mean, I'll be playing, but I'm not going to get in your way. So, like, if there's a tournament, say, Thursday night, the 11 p.m., Friday morning, the 9 a.m., we'll play one of those, and whoever lasts longer gets the coin.
Because said at the end of 4 hours, going by chip, we can if we have a bounty. The bounty sounds fun. I say we just flip a coin.
Bounty.
Let's flip a coin.
For the coin? For coin 3? No. Well, that's between you two. I'm out of that one. That's between you two. I think last longer would be fun, but that's up to you.
There you go.
All right, everybody. I think that's it. Thanks for hanging with us. Thanks for putting up with the soundboard, which will probably be sent back after today. But, yeah, Forrest Fenn clips. Again, no new clips are coming out till after the World Series of Fenn. We're just going to talk about the ones we have.
And if you want to go look at that video, there are new clips in there. And Mike reordered them, too, which is driving me crazy. That might stay up, but that's going to be augmented. It has to be changed.
Okay, well, we'll go through it. Yeah, we'll go through it. And okay.
Yeah, Copperdan, it is $1,000. I know how much you paid for yours, and I know how much I paid for mine.
That's $1,000 coin for a coin flip. Yeah, that's
a coin flip.
A little
Come
crazy.
On. What are you worried about, Copperdan? Don't cry.
Wow. Yeah.
Or
all right.
how about you
not touching
Forrest,
that one.
How about you give Forrest your location? I'll get Forrest my location, and he can say who's closer and gets the coin. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm having fun.
Whatever happens, it'll be in the vlog. You guys, I guarantee it. All right, everybody. World Series of Fenn. Let us know if you're coming. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're probably going to have 50 to 60 people is what I think it's going to end up being. So just think about that. 50, 60 searchers getting together, having fun for 2 days, for Friday and Saturday. So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, anything else? We will see everybody Thursday on the Cowlazars channel. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get back to the poem. You never know. I don't know. We got to talk about that.
Oh, my gosh.
Beacon Star. Let me know who wants to work on the Beacon Star. I've still been working on that one as well.
Yeah, AJ said no today, too. I talked to him about that.
You said no?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No. All right. Okay. All right, everybody. We'll see you on Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Thumbs up the video. Can we get 100 likes, at least for the soundboard? And we will see you on Thursday.
She said it came out so compact.
Oh, sorry about that. I meant to play the I actually meant to play the darn K-Pro Cow Powwow song, but I've lost it. So, okay. All right. We'll see everybody next time. Thanks.
Bye, guys. Bye.